Hello there, my name is Sippies, and you can call me B, and welcome back to another visual novel one-shot. I'm here with Yandere-chan! Another thing I found off the visual novel database. The visual novel database. I love them! That's where I found most of my shit, especially for like the one-shots and stuff, because you can just look up things by really short, and there's a ton of them, so I get to play a lot of stuff I never heard about. So yay! Like Yandere-chan. From what I've seen, this is a personal project by someone called Neo Dude that came out in 2012. So, the art style, I don't know, it's like, I feel like you can kind of tell it's from around that era, maybe, and I find that extremely charming. It feels nostalgic in a way. It reminds me of like scrolling on DeviantArt when I was little, and I really like that. it has a nostalgic feeling to it, which I like. So yeah, let's go. Class, we have a new student joining us today. I want you all to make him feel welcome. You can come in now. I gently opened the door. A hush of silence fell over the classroom as I nervously approached the teacher's podium. And I wrote my name on the chalkboard. Ooh, we can name ourselves. What should we name ourselves? Well, remember Reginald for the Junior. I'm Reginald Jr. It's nice to meet you all. Why Reginald Jr.? Why not? Because that Reginald is what I named the protagonist of Doki Doki Literature Club. And I thought about him with that. So, yeah. There we go. Welcome to our class, Reginald Jr. Please take a seat over there. Yes, sir. Oh, wait, it's a dude. Yes, sir. I could feel the eyes of every student upon me as I made my way to the empty desk. And thus began my first day at a new school. I really hope I don't get, like, some girl obsessed with me or anything. That would suck. The morning session went by really fast. Before I knew it, it was lunchtime. Hey, Reginald Jr., come sit with us! A girl called me over to her desk. 3 other students, another girl, and 2 boys were merging their desk with hers. I guessed he did this every day. Pulled my chair over and they made some room for me to sit. As we ate, they asked me questions about where I moved from and what my hobbies were. One of the girls assured me that if I ever needed any help getting around the campus, that I could ask her for help. They were all nice people, and it wasn't long before we started joking around and having fun. And then I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. Stare. That girl, sitting by herself at the back of the classroom. Not eating, not studying, just staring. Stare. Straight at me. Also, if her hair was down, I wonder what it would look like. Like long one strand, or maybe like it could be like an extension or something, maybe, I don't know. With unwavering eyes. From what I could recall, I don't think she stopped staring at me since I arrived. I knew I was the new guy and all, but still it was a bit unnerving. Even as I tried to shift my attention back to the conversation, I could still feel her vacant gaze piercing into the back of my head. As I turned around to get a better look at her, she got up and walked out of the classroom. Oop, there she go. That was weird. Who was that girl? Why was she staring at me so intently? Did she know me from somewhere? She's pretty cute, isn't she? Huh? I turned back around and saw that the others were grinning at me. The girl you were looking at. I said she was cute. She was like staring at me. It was creepy. Yeah, I guess. It's true she was. From the little I saw of her. From the little of her that I saw anyway. But that's not why I was trying to get a look at her. Her name is Mia. We'll introduce you to her, but she's not really the socializing type. Another student said while nudging me in the arm. What do you mean by that? She's a recluse. Whenever anybody tries to talk to her, she'll either walk away or just ignore them. Hell, I don't think I ever heard her speak, let alone socialize. I have, but only in very short sentences. And even then she sounded like a robot. She tends to avoid human contact whenever possible. Is it because she's shy or not very good at talking to people? It's possible. She was in the same class as me last year, and even then she behaved in exactly the same way. And that includes not eating at lunchtime. I mean, she actually is a robot. She doesn't need a feed. I do not need to feed. I have my charging receptacle. Most days she'll retreat to the library and stay there until it's time to go back to class. Too bad. If she wasn't so weird and aloof, I'd totally ask her out. The hell you would? I'd already be going out with her. Like you even stand a chance with her. Hey, shut up. It's kind of weird that they're talking about that about the weird girl. God, you're both hopeless. She may be weird, but she'd have to be completely insane to want to go out with either of you. I know, right? Absolutely no chance. Aw, come on, girls. Don't be like that. Reginald Jr., please help me out here. Leave me out of this. We carried on like that until the afternoon bell rang. All in all, it was a pretty fun time. After class ended, I was invited to come hang out with my new friends. Is that how friendship works? Dang, bro. However, I was instructed to meet with the principal after school in order to fill out the remainder of my application forms. So I had to reluctantly decline their offer. Reluctantly decline their offer. What did I bring? What? By the time I had finished filling out my forms, everyone had already gone home. I left the principal's office and walked down the empty hallway. I wonder what the rings are. Cause, well, that one reminds, like, that one, like, swings out. It looks like the way they swing out, maybe. Like, whoosh. But why are they there? Reginald Jr. As I reached the second floor, a soft voice called out my name. Oh, I wasn't expecting anybody else to be here. Especially not her. But there she was, standing right in front of me. The reclusive girl who was staring at me all throughout class. Oh, whoa. Though at this point in time, she seemed far less reclusive than before. I'm really glad you transferred to our school. When I saw you wearing our uniform this morning, I thought I might just been dreaming, but here you are. Do you know us? Finally, we get to be in the same class together. I'm so happy it's almost scary. Yeah. Talk about scary. In a matter of seconds, this girl has gone from being a functional mute to a happy puppy. And she's talking like we've met before. I figured I would remember meeting someone as cute as her. But I was drawing a complete blank. Someone whose hair is like so uneven as hers. More importantly, what was she doing? More importantly, what was she doing here all alone at this time of the evening? It's possible that she stayed behind to catch up on studying. That still didn't explain why she was just standing in the hall like that. It couldn't be that she was waiting for me, was she? I remember back to my conversation with the other students this afternoon. They did say she was a bit of a weirdo. Though it could just be that she had me confused with someone else. Could it be that you've forgotten my name, Reginald Jr.? No, of course not. Damn, I responded spontaneously. Although that actually wasn't a lie. I don't think I ever seen this girl before, much less know her name. God, so cute! It's no wonder the guys were fighting over her. I didn't want to say anything that would upset her. But it was really so important to her that I knew her name. Well, I already put my foot in my mouth by implying that I hadn't forgotten it. I had no choice but to follow through with an answer. Now think, Reginald Jr. I remember that one of the guys told me her name during lunch. But for the life of me, I couldn't fully remember what it was. I think it was me something, but I wasn't quite sure. I just had to take a wild guess and hope for the best. Besides, even if I get it wrong, I could just apologize and ask for the right answer. I was sure that she would understand. Okay, here we go. Her name is... Save! I think it was Mia. Mia. Oh, or not? Judging by the awkward silence, it was clear that I had gotten it wrong. No, Reginald Jr.! Before I knew what happened, she had leapt into my arms and was burying her face into my chest. I knew you'll never forget me. I knew you would never do something so mean. This is wonderful. It's finally happening. This isn't a dream. I can feel you. Your body's so warm. You're actually here. I'm so happy. Reginald Jr. I'm so happy. I'm so happy, Reginald Jr. What's up with this girl? One utterance of her name and she was all over me. Not like I was complaining or anything. It's not every day that a cute girl throws herself at me like this. Human contact. Girl touching me. Ugh! Although I did feel bad that the only reason it happened was because another student just happened to tell me her name. It's not like I remembered. It's not like I remembered it because of any previous encounter with her. I would have told her the truth, but she was just too happy that I didn't want to upset her. So I just had to live with the fact that I lied to some girl I never met before. Together, we can eat lunch together, and we can study together, and... I was so deep in my own thoughts that I hadn't noticed that she was still talking to me. Not only that, but her grip on my body had tightened. It was like she was worried that if she let go of me, I was going to vanish into thin air or something. It was a good thing that there was nobody around at that time. If anybody saw a girl hanging off of me, the gossip would have spread like wildfire. Especially since the girl in question was the quiet recluse that all the guys were gunning for. Just to be safe, I decided to do something about it. I grabbed a hold of Mia's shoulders and pulled her off of me. Huh? Why? Why did you pull away, Reginald Jr.? Why would you do such a thing? Yeah, she was like a baby who had her favorite toy taken away from them. Made me feel like a real jerk. Although I wasn't really at fault. This was a normal reaction to being hugged by a stranger. Although to her, she probably thought it was acceptable because we allegedly knew each other. I needed to tell her that it wasn't polite to jump into people like that. Even if that made me look like an ass. Come on now, take it easy. It's great that you're happy and all, but it's not nice to go running into people. As I was talking, I took a step back. And then I felt my foot kick something on the floor. I looked down and noticed that the entire area around us was littered with school supplies. She dropped her stuff. And that's not all. They are all labeled property of Mia. I wasn't sure what to make of that. I'd never met anyone who was in the habit of labeling all their possessions. I don't do all my stuff, but I do lose stuff frequently, so... Lordy knows. Well, she's a Yandere, so it might be for more different reasons, but... Me, personally, am a person who misplaces everything. Though for all I knew, she was a klutz who would frequently lose her things and started pulling labels on them, so... Yep, yeah. Though, for all I knew, she was a klutz who would frequently lose her things and start putting labels on them so they could be returned to her if found. Yeah, I am a klutz. I guess, technically. Or maybe she had a compulsive habit of sticking labels into everything she owned. I like stickers. They're fun. Though, if that were the case, she would also have labels on her desk and all over her uniform. And I'm pretty sure I would have noticed if she did that. You can't see them if they're in the clothes. Unless they're... Oh. Unless you were on the inside of her clothes. Yes, interesting theory. Once again, I was getting off track. Summary. There was stuff on the floor that wasn't there earlier. TLDR, please. My best guess was that when Mia jumped into my arms, she dropped her school bag and spilled all her things into the floor. Didn't you hear that little clutter after you? As if there was any other possible reason. Didn't you hear when your stuff fell? Still, it was funny how it took me this long to notice. Oh, that might have just been him stepping on something. Seriously, you should pay more attention to what you're doing or someone might get hurt. Lectured her as I knelt down to pick up her bag. Reginald Jr. is mad at me. Mia looked away with a dejected expression on her face. Her adorableness is making it very difficult for me to keep a serious face. I'm not mad. I'm just not a big fan of stepping on someone else's things and breaking them. Speak of the devil. Oh, not the calculator. If it's like a TI-84 whatever with the... I don't know. As I was packing the tools back into her bag, I shifted my weight into my left knee and accidentally crushed a calculator that had fallen underneath. Dude, those things aren't cheap. TI-84s? You can play video games on there. I don't know. Needless to say, it was also labeled property of Mia. Also, needless to say, my knee was hurting. And there was a tear in my pants. Guess that's what I get for buying them at a discount clothing store. I picked up the calculator and examined it closely. The screen had been completely shattered. I could see small drops of my blood on the inside circuitry. It had been rendered completely useless. Just lovely. I looked up at Mia, who stared back at me with a look of complete shock on her face. I contemplated scolding her again about the importance of self-awareness. You're the one who broke her calculator! By judging by her expression, it looked like she understood what she did. I calmly stood back up and handed her her bag, while holding the broken calculator in my other hand. Sorry about that. I'll buy you another one later, I promise. Mia? Reginald Jr., no! Huh? Whoa! Once again, she tackled me. Only this time I was knocked to the ground. What was that about? I stood up to find Mia frantically pulling back my... Oh, he was hurt, my precious. I stood up to find Mia frantically pulling back my left pant leg and examining my knee. Mia, what the hell are you... Reginald Jr.'s knee! Reginald Jr.'s knee! Reginald Jr.'s knee! It's injured! Reginald Jr.'s knee is injured! Does it hurt, Reginald Jr.? Does it? Are you alright? Are you in pain? There's blood! There's dirt! It's getting into the wound! It's gonna get infected! Reginald Jr. is gonna get sick! You're gonna get MRSA! Stay right there! Don't move! Let me help you. I'll help you, Reginald Jr. It was unbelievable. This girl was falling to pieces over a tiny cut. A cut that she was partially responsible for causing. Though at that point, my back was hurting considerably more than my knee. No doubt it was a result to being tackled to the floor, Mia. Also her fault, I might add. Maybe even more so. But I wasn't about to bring that up. This kid was already treating the situation like a code blue emergency. Someone's in cardiac arrest? If I told her that I sustained another injury, she'd probably have a heart attack. It was strange, but in another way, it was kind of cute. I guess there comes a time in every man's life where he hopes to meet a girl who would make a big fuss over him. Well, even in their wildest dreams, I doubt any of the girls behave quite as recklessly as this. And to put a stop to this before she went too far and ended up calling an ambulance. Hey, Mia, look, I trailed off in my thoughts again, so I wasn't paying attention to what she was trying to do. I snapped out of it just... again, what's up with the look indeed? Yuri. Well, I don't know if she's. I don't think she's a yandere, but Yuri. This other otome that I haven't played on my channel yet, but he was like, oh, and I won't say which one it is because, well, if I want to play on my channel one day, he like starts licking like the girl's knees, like, but he's like disinfected. It was like, what do you mean disinfected? No. Do you know how much bacteria is in your mouth? I snapped out of it just as Mia's tongue was mere inches away from my knee. Well, there's no need for that. Phew, that was too close. Mia looked at me with startled eyes. But if I don't clean the wound, germs are going to get in and Reginald Jr. will get sick. Germs are going to get in if you lick it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and if you lick my cut, you'll get sick. Was she for real? She was willing and ready to lick my wound clean like some kind of animal. And given the way things had progressed by that point, I doubt she would have minded it one bit. I knew that if I let this go on any longer, somebody was going to get hurt. I quickly rolled up my pant leg and got back on my feet. But Reginald Jr. Look, I'm fine, see? Nothing a band-aid won't fix. Maybe some Neosporin? Speaking of which, I'd better dispose of this before anyone else gets hurt. I walked into a nearby. Oh no, she wants to keep that and dispose of the broken calculator in the trash. Mia stared vacantly at me as I walked out of the classroom. Oh come on, you'll get dirty if you stay down there. I held out my hand to help her up. As I moved towards her, her line of sight didn't change. She seemed to be lost in her own little world. I moved in closer and gently nudged her on the shoulder. Mia? Mia jolted like she had just been woken up from a deep sleep. She blinked a few times and then noticed me standing in front of her. I held my hand out again to help her up. She just stared at it. After a moment of silence, she finally took my hand and I pulled her up off the floor. That was strange. It was like she had suddenly switched off. What was that about? I started to brush the dust off her clothes. Guess she didn't mind because she didn't show any signs of resistance. The average girl would probably get nervous if a boy started touching them. At least that's what I've been told. But then again, it was becoming abundantly clear that I wasn't dealing with the average girl. Heck, from what I witnessed in the short amount of time we spent together, I think it was safe to assume that the concept of personal space didn't register with her. Unless, of course, it involves avoiding contact with the rest of the student body. Guess that meant I was special. I didn't know whether that was good or bad. You're trailing off again. Oh, wait. Reginald Jr. I meant that meant me. You're trailing off again, Reginald Jr. You really need to stop doing that. Oh, wait, no, he was talking to himself. Come on, get back on track. I slapped myself on the cheek and finished brushing the dust off of Mia's clothes. All the while, she remained as quiet as a mouse. Her expression had reverted back to the same vacant one she had throughout the day. It was making it very difficult to tell what she was thinking. Strange. One minute she was bubbly and vibrant. The next she was a mannequin. But it has been a long day. Particularly within the last few minutes. Maybe she was just tired. I know I was. Either way, I couldn't shake this uncomfortable feeling I was getting from all the silence. It's getting late. We should get going. I don't know about you, but my mom will kick my ass if I'm not home before dark. I tried to alleviate the strange sense of awkwardness I was feeling by making a joke. A truthful joke, mind you. She will kick my ass. I knew full well that what awaited me when I got home tonight was a fistful of whoop-ass from my beloved mother. Little bit of issues there, huh? And judging from the complete lack of response, I could tell that Mia wasn't even listening to me. I'll kill your mom for you. Mia? Huh? You still with me? Oh, Reginald Jr. The very same. Where'd you go? I guess I wasn't the only one with a penchant for getting lost in my own thoughts. In that case, I was able to cut her some slack. Well, never mind. The important thing is that you're back now. Just in time, too. We should get going before it gets too dark. I'll meet you outside. Did you forget something back at class? No. Toilet. She gonna get to the calculator? Oh, okay then. I'll just wait for you outside. I stiffly turned around and hurried towards the stairs. Guess that's why Mia was being so quiet. She needed to use the toilet, but was unable to speak up because I was too busy putting my hands all over her. Not in that way, mind you. Don't be a perv. That must have been embarrassing for her. I, for one, was feeling pretty sheepish. If I could see my face in a mirror, I bet my face was bright red at that point. Smooth, Reginald Jr. Just smooth. Making a girl stand around listening to you while she needs to use the ladies' room. I continued to condemn myself as I made my way outside. After a few minutes, Mia came out. The two of us made our way to the train station. A lot of time had passed since school got out, so it went without saying that I already missed my train. Ordinarily, I would have boarded a much earlier train to get home, but due to my meeting with the principal today, I knew that I would end up missing it. So I checked the train schedule before I arrived at school this morning to see when the next one would arrive. I was hoping to finish filling out my forms and make it to the station in time to catch it. However, due to my unforeseen encounter with Mia, I ended up missing that train as well. I went over the timetable again to see if any other trains were heading my way. Next train wasn't due for another 20 minutes. I figured I should at least call my mom and tell her I was going to be late. I could have probably done that sooner, but with everything that had happened, the thought completely slipped my mind. Okay, Mom. See you soon. Bye. I foresee an ass whooping in my near future. What? You were supposed to stay after school. No way you were with Mia for that long. Almost makes me wish the train wouldn't come. I snarked to myself as I walked over to Mia, who was sitting on the nearby bench. It appeared as though Mia had regained her cheerful attitude. She was clutching her school bag and rocking from side to side. I do that too, girl. Never knew anyone who felt that good after going to... It's a relief, buddy. I think she's just happy with you around, but... Me personally, I always sway around. I don't know. I have a hard time sitting still. She must have had a really big bowel. Gonna stop myself right there. Then it occurred to me. With everything that had happened, Mia would have missed her normal train as well. And she hadn't been able to look at the schedule, though she didn't seem at all anxious. For all I knew, her usual train hadn't arrived yet. Maybe this was a normal routine for her. Or maybe she was just so lost in her own little world that she didn't even know where she was. Also a mood. Just as well I was with her at that point. If Mia was sitting by herself, completely unaware of her surroundings, and some perv sat down next to her. Well, I didn't want to think about that. I had more than enough lecturous thoughts for one afternoon anyway, dude. Ground control to Major Mia. I tapped Mia lightly on the shoulder. And much like back at school, she awoke from her daydream with a small jump. Oh, Reginald Jr. The one and only. Same exact response, too. I was starting to wonder if this girl was really as introverted as everyone said she was. Perhaps she was just spacey. This bitch needs some Adderall. For example, when the other students tried to talk to her at school, it could be that her head was in the clouds and she simply didn't notice them. That could easily be misconstrued as being reclusive. And that would also account for her other reputation of being weird. I was a weird kid in school. I was. And had my little friend group of weird kids. It could be that during the course of our brief encounter, I, the new kid, managed to solve the mystery of the quiet loner girl. I decided that I would report my findings to the other students at school the next day. It was possible that I would also be able to help Mia make some friends. But before I could do any of that, I had to make sure that she made it home in one piece. I just checked the timetable. My train will be here in about 20 minutes. Have you checked to see when your train arrives yet? Shall I take that as a no? Go and check, please. Mia placed her bag on the seat and went to look at the timetable. Okay, that was just weird. It felt like I was a parent interrogating their child about doing their homework or something. He asked me in a soft yet assertive voice if she had done what she was supposed to do. She hesitated. I asked her the same tone of voice to do as she was told. Mia, did you brush your teeth? I laid down. After more hesitating, she gave in and did it. This is how my parents felt when they had to discipline me. Looked like I owed them an apology. I watched Mia examining the timetables. Because of her height, she had to stand on her toes to see it properly. It was funny to watch. Not to mention pretty cute. I should probably stop being a jerk and go over there and actually help her. Maybe an extra set of eyes will help her find her train quicker. I got up to walk over to her. Then I remembered her school bag was seated next to me. I turned back and saw that it had fallen off the seat, and some things had fallen out. Again. Apparently this girl was not in the habit of closing her bag properly. I bent down and started pulling the items back into the bag. Is it the calculator? And then something caught my eye. Amongst the spilled contents was the calculator that I accidentally broke and then disposed of. You should throw away her stuff without her permission, man. What on earth is this doing back in Mia's bag? She didn't. Back at school, when she said she needed to use the toilet, could it be that when she was finished, she snuck back into the classroom and took the calculator out of the trash? She rummaged through the trash like a little trash goblin? It's also possible that she never even needed to use the toilet to begin with. Perhaps she simply made up an excuse so that I would leave so she can sneak and take it. Come to think of it, the time she started getting all quiet was when I disposed of the calculator. When I was brushing the dirt off her. The direction she was staring in was the classroom where I disposed of it. And the time that she started behaving happily again was after she came back from the toilet. Of course! It all made sense now. For some unknown reason, Mia really wanted her calculator back regardless of his condition, and had to take a huge poo. All the pieces are falling into place. Sort of. But why would she hide it from me? More importantly, why would she lie to me in order to retrieve it? 'Cause it's embarrassing. I'm gonna rummage through the trash. Why didn't she just ask me to give it back to her instead of letting me toss it away? Was it really that precious to her? It just looked like an ordinary calculator to me. But for all I knew, it was a gift from a loved one that she cherished with all her heart. I guess I really didn't have any right to just throw it away without asking her first. I decided to put it back and pretend that I didn't see anything. Given the circumstances, it was the least I could do. As I went to put the calculator back in the bag, I felt something slimy on my fingers. It's saliva, right? Look at my hand and saw that it was covered in a clear liquid. It was saliva, yeah. Nasty! When did that happen? Did I get spit on at some point? What the hell is with some people? As I recoiled in disgust, I dropped the calculator back into the ground. I leaned in to pick it up. And then I noticed something. Okay, that's bizarre. The calculator also had saliva. Girl, how much were you slobbering on it? Did you not, like... And how did he know, like, immediately it was... It could be... Oh, oops. There we go. It's like, ah, yes, this mysterious liquid immediately. I know this. I clocked it as saliva. Not on every inch of it, mind you. It looked more like it originated from the broken screen and then ran down where the calculator was tilted upwards. But even so, there was a lot of it. It was as if someone had been making out with it. Like one of those really steamy movies that my mom doesn't know I watch. Ew. The real question was it Mia's? Or did it get into the calculator because of something else that was also in the trash, which also happened to have like, yeah, this is just gross. A lot of kids threw their food wrappers and stuff into the trash at lunch today. And some kids were pretty keen on licking up every last crumb of whatever from the packs before they threw them away. Maybe it came from one of those? She just really wanted to slurp up your blood. It wasn't above the realm of possibility. But wait. I couldn't remember whether or not the trash bag had been replaced before I disposed of the calculator. Who knows? Someone probably just needed to hack up a loogie. Reginald Jr.? Whoa! I spun around to find Mia standing over me. Where did she get there? She must have had the stealth of a cat. My train arrives in 18 minutes. Huh? Oh, right, great. Reginald Jr., you dumbass. At least try to remember what you were doing beforehand so you can avoid looking suspicious. I quickly stuffed the calculator into my blazer pocket. Given its condition, it probably wasn't the best move. What were you doing on the floor with my school bag? Oh, this? It fell down and I was just picking it up for you. I stood up and handed her the bag. She's like, nuh-uh. She had a dubious look in her eye. I hope that she didn't feel the need to verify that everything was there. Reginald Jr. is so nice. He's always looking out for me. I'm so happy. Mia took the bag and hugged it tightly. No doubt because she assumed that the calculator was still in there. Little did she know that it was currently in my pocket. Yeah, that's me, all right. Mr. Nice Guy. I stolen it away from her a second time. Some nice guy I was. Sure, I took it out spontaneously, but that was no excuse. I needed to find a way to give the calculator back to Mia without her getting mad. So, you said your train was a ways off as well, right? Well, in that case... You thirsty? I saw a vending machine by the overpass when we entered the station. I figured there's enough time before our trains come to have a soda. I feel like we gotta be careful with her. I don't want to get murdered. You want one too? My treat? Soda from Mr. Reginald Jr.? Sure, I won't mind getting one for you. Just tell me what you want and I'll get it. Oh. Mia hesitated for a moment. Maybe she felt guilty about having someone spending money on her. It was perfectly okay with me. I had plenty of spare change in my wallet, so it wasn't like I was wasting money or anything. Perhaps she was misinterpreting my kind gesture as something more than what it was. Given the way she'd been behaving around me so far, I wouldn't put it past her to read too much into it. Her face was turning bright red. I bet if I were to crack an egg over her head, it would fry in no time. Dang, that would be fun to try. But it would also be pretty mean, so I better not. Take an egg in. What? I decided to put Mia out of her misery before she ended up losing herself in her own fantasies again. Mia. I tapped her on the shoulder. She jumped again. Oh, Reginald Jr. Me again. I was starting to sense a pattern. If you're uncomfortable with me buying you a soda, we can both go over to the machine and buy one for ourselves. She glanced at the vending machine, and then back at me. It looked like Mia was really struggling to make up her mind. At the rate things were progressing, our trains were going to arrive before she made up her mind. I rubbed my brow in frustration. This was getting to be too much of a hassle. I was about to discard the whole idea when... Lemonade. It was faint, but I heard her reply. I moved my hand away from my face and looked back down at Mia. Pardon? I want lemonade. When why do I keep on saying Mr.? Whatever. When Mr. Reginald Jr. goes to get his soda, please get me a lemonade. Now that wasn't so hard, was it? I chuckled and lightly patted Mia on the head. She shrunk down into her seat, but I don't think it was because she didn't like it. If that were the case, she probably would have pulled away. But if anything, her face had gotten even redder than before. Funny Mia didn't show this much humility when she was embracing me back at school. Heck, judging by how she behaved back there, one could only assume that she was incapable of expressing humility. Maybe she only got shy when someone else did it to her. Or maybe just with me. If someone at school tried to pat her, she'd probably just jab at them with a pair of scissors or something. Nah, she'd probably just run away. It was kind of hard to imagine Mia doing anything violent. She seemed like the passive-aggressive type to me. Alright, lemonade it is. Wait right there, I'll be right back. As I got up to go to the machine, Mia grabbed my sleeve. I turned back to look at her. She just looked up at me silently. Something else? Even though she didn't respond, I was pretty sure I already knew what she wanted. Mia, did you still want to come with me? Thought so. Alright then, up you get. We need to hurry if we want to buy the drinks and finish them before our trains arrive. While continuing to hold on to my sleeve, Mia stood up and walked over to the machine. I guess she really wanted to stay with me because she had completely forgotten to take her school bag with her. Not that it mattered since we were the only ones at the station, so it wasn't going to get stolen or anything, probably. And besides, the only object she cared about was no longer inside the bag anyways. I was still carrying the broken, saliva-covered calculator in my pocket. You don't know if that was the only important thing to her. It puzzled me as to how that saliva got into the calculator in the first place. Mia probably pulled it out of the trash and stuffed it into her bag so fast that she hadn't even noticed it. Lucky for her. And here I was with a wet, slimy blazer pocket. I was definitely going to throw it in the wash that night. Reginald Jr. Mia tugged on my sleeve again. I was so deep in thought I hadn't even realized that we were standing in front of the vending machine. And yet earlier on I chastised her for doing the same exact thing. Boy, I was severely off my game. Reginald Jr., what's the matter? Are you gonna get your drink? Can I have a lemonade? Are you still thirsty? Yeah, of course I am. 1 soda and 1 lemonade coming right up. Just gotta get my change out. I needed to find a place to break away from Mia, clean the drool off the calculator, and discreetly place it back into her bag. I pretended to fish through my wallet, looking for my change while I scanned the station. I spotted a restroom nearby. Perfect. Say Mia. I really need to use the men's room. Here, why don't you take the money and buy the drinks? I'll be with you in a second. I handed the money to Mia and rushed off to the restroom before she had a chance to reply. Can I hold it? I rushed into the bathroom and headed straight for the sink. I ran the calculator under running water. It was broken, so it didn't really matter if the water got into the circuitry. Still, I made sure not to use too much water. I didn't want to get any trapped inside. If I did, and the water leaked out inside of Mia's bag, it could damage her school books. So as long as I washed off the saliva and the blood from when I broke the screen. Funny, I'd forgotten about the blood until now. Oh well, as long as I washed it away, it didn't matter. When I was sure that the calculator was completely clean, I grabbed some paper towels and wiped it dry. I stuffed the calculator in my opposite pocket and dashed back outside. I don't want Mia to get back to the bench before I manage to sneak the calculator back into her bag. But it looked like I had been rushing around for nothing. Because there was Mia standing right where I left her, in the front of the vending machine. And she was still carrying the change I gave her. It looked like she hadn't even bought the drinks yet. She was staring very intently at the selection. Maybe she was having second thoughts on the lemonade? That was fine by me. Because while Mia was distracted, I could sneak over to her bag and place the calculator back before she even had a chance to notice. Still, there was a possibility of her turning around and spotting me. In which case, what would I do? Would I tell her the truth, or would I just end up lying again? Okay, this was just plain silly. Here I was, sneaking around trying to prevent some girl from noticing that I had accidentally taken her calculator that I broke and threw away. Then she secretly fished out of the trash and placed back into her bag, which I then accidentally uncovered, stuffed into my pocket, cleaned, and now I'm trying to return it without her knowing. Seriously, people, if you're still reading this thing, I thank you. I am. Alright, Reginald Jr. It's time to put an end to this ridiculous It's time to put an end to this ridiculous excuse for a subplot. Getting meta, aren't we? Should I try to put the calculator back now or wait for a better opportunity? Get it over with. Mia seems pretty well distracted. I'll take the opportunity to put it back when she's not looking. I hurried over to the bench where our bags were. I slowly opened the clip on Mia's bag and was about to place the calculator inside. Reginald Jr.? Ah! Spun around to find Mia standing behind me. Seriously, she has the stealth of a cat. It was frightening. Like she was in training to become an assassin or something. Assassin. This was bad. Mia was staring at me again with a vacant look. It was making it difficult to tell what she was thinking. Was she onto me? I tried to regain my composure. I stretched out again on the bench in an attempt to appear calm and obstruct Mia's view of their school bag behind me. Mia? What's the matter? I don't see your lemonade. Weren't you going to buy one? Are you no longer thirsty? My voice was panicky. Well done, Reginald Jr. Keep behaving like that and she won't suspect a thing. Mia's gaze shifted to the ground. I followed her line of sight. She was looking at the calculator lying by my feet. I must have dropped it when she startled me, but it sounded more like a can. Busted. Mia silently knelt down and picked it up. Yeah, I can explain. You see, while you're over the timetable, your bag fell over and it fell out and... I'm sorry. Huh? I said I'm sorry. I lied to Reginald Jr. I said that I needed to go to the toilet when really I just wanted to get the calculator back. I'm sorry. Do you forgive me? Do you, Reginald Jr.? Please forgive me. Don't hate me, Reginald Jr. This girl. Dummy. Baka, why wouldn't I forgive you? I gently rubbed Mia's head. Reginald Jr. She blushed lightly and nuzzled my hand. She really was pretty cute. I guess we were both just a couple of liars. It looked like we were both worried for nothing. We both apologized and forgave one another. And everything was right once more. So we sat there together on the bench, waiting for our trains to arrive. What's this? What's going on here? This can't be true. It shouldn't be this way. This isn't right. What's the matter? I turned towards Mia. seemed to be getting worked up over something. This isn't right. 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 Yeah, we should have. We should have, like, hey, Mia. We shouldn't have cleaned it. Mia was clutching her calculator and strained to look inside the broken screen. This isn't right. Mia, what's wrong? What isn't right? This isn't right. This isn't right. This isn't right. This isn't right. Why is it this way? Why? Can't yell, people are wrong, as usual. She was becoming hysterical. If I didn't do something, Mia was gonna hurt herself. Mia, calm down. Grab her shoulders and try to snap her out of it. This isn't right. This isn't right. This isn't right. This isn't right. No reaction. She just continued chanting wildly. Mia! It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong! Pull yourself together! Wrong, 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 wrong! Mia! Huh? I shouted right in Mia's face and she finally snapped out of it. Not exactly the most gentlemanly thing to do, but one can't argue with the results. Oh, Reginald Jr. That's my name. But seriously, what the hell just happened? Are you alright? Why were you shouting like that? Without replying, Mia handed me the calculator. What am I supposed to be looking at? You don't see it? No? I mean, what am I supposed to be seeing? That's just it. It's no longer there. You lost me? What was no longer there, Mia? She was becoming erratic again. It was making it difficult to keep up with what she was saying. Reginald Jr.'s blood is no longer there. Reginald Jr.'s blood is gone. Why is it gone? What happened to Reginald Jr.'s blood? My blood? That's what she said. But it took my brain a while to comprehend it. You mean from when I cut myself on the screen earlier? It was there earlier, but now it's gone. Why is it gone? Why? This was strange. Why was Mia getting so upset about my blood not being on the broken calculator? Unless... A thought came to mind, but not one I wanted to consider. It could be that the calculator itself had no sentimental value to Mia. Rather, it was my blood on the inside that she wanted. Of course, if that were the case, then that meant the saliva I found around the screen was, in fact, Mia's. Yep. Which would mean that she'd been licking the inside of the broken calculator to get my blood. Was that really why she was acting so cheerful earlier? Had she been licking my blood out of the calculator before she came back from the toilet? Could it have been that she got some kind of pleasure from licking my blood? Maybe that was the real reason she tried to disinfect my knee earlier. And when I didn't let her, she went for the next best thing. The calculator I injured myself on, and which still had some of my blood on it. Hold on. Let's not jump to conclusions. I could just be over and not analyzing things. I could just be over analyzing things. Maybe I misunderstood what Mia was talking about. But if I wanted to get anywhere with her, I need to come clean. Excuse the pun. Say, Mia. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. She had gone off on the tangent again. Oh, girly. I shook her shoulders, gently this time. Mia. She snapped right out of it. That was considerably easier than before. Listen, there's something you should know. When the calculator fell out of your bag earlier, I noticed the blood and saliva on it. I just assumed you pulled it out of the trash and put it in your bag so fast that you didn't notice them. So while you were in the vending machine, I went to the men's room and washed the blood and saliva off the calculator. I was hoping to put it back in your bag before you noticed, but you know the rest. Look, I may not understand your reasons, but I don't think it's very safe to be walking around with a broken, bloody calculator. Mia just stood there, staring silently. Once again, her face had reverted back into the vacant expression. She appeared deep in thought. I waited patiently for a response. Must be getting dark. Could have sworn I just saw the sunlight disappear from Mia's eyes. Oh no. Oh no. We gotta get murdered. I looked at my watch. Nope, the sun wasn't due to set for another half hour. Compensate with more blood. Heard Mia mutter something under her breath, but was too soft to hear properly. I looked up from my watch and asked Mia what she said, only to find out she was now standing right in front of me. I've said it before and I'll say it again. That girl had a stuff of a cat. She was so quick that I didn't even know she was carrying a pair of scissors until it was too... Damn. Compensate with more blood, Reginald Jr. At least I managed to hear what she said before it all went dark. Baden! Dang, he got... Where did you, like, stab him? Like, right in the jugglers or something? With the scissors? How did it, like... Damn, it got him instantly. Baden. Let's wait for a better opportunity. Better just play it safe and wait for now. I didn't want to risk the chance of being spotted. I doubt Mia would have taken too kindly to a boy rummaging through things, even though I think I needed to go back to the previous choice and decided I'd wait for a better chance to slip the calculator back into her bag. I walked back over to Mia at the vending machine. What do I do? I'm back, Mia. Reginald Jr.? What's the matter? You still haven't gotten your lemonade? Did you want something else instead? That's not it. Reginald Jr. ran off so fast that he didn't tell me what he wanted to drink. I wanted a soda. I didn't know what to get you. I was too scared to buy something because you might have not liked it. Mia. Getting all worried over that drink to get me? She was just too cute. Sorry, that was my bad. Pat pat. She moaned. Reginald Jr. Honestly, it wouldn't have mattered what drink you bought for me. I'm not too picky when it comes to soda. And you at least could have gotten your lemonade. You didn't need to wait for me to drink it. But I wanted to sit and drink soda with Reginald Jr. before the train arrives. It wouldn't be fair if I started drinking first. This girl. If she got any more moe, I was going to have an aneurysm. Well, I held us up long enough. Time for soda. Did you still want that lemonade, Mia? I took the change from her hand to prepare to make the order. Yes. Yes, Reginald Jr. Coming up. I bought our sodas and went back to the bench to drink them while we waited for our trains to arrive. I just finished my last gulp of soda when my train finally arrived into the station. I stood up from the bench and grabbed my bag. Then I turned back to Mia. Well, this is me. Sorry to cut our time short like this, Mia. Guess I'll see you tomorrow. Gave her a wave and headed for the train. Huh? As I walked through the train door, I turned around to see that Mia had followed me inside. What are you doing? Going home. Same as Reginald Jr. Don't joke around. You can't just follow me into my train. It's not your train, it's a communal train. I'm going to a different stop. You need to hurry back outside and wait for your train to arrive. Mia just looked at me and chuckled. Come on now, this isn't funny. Hurry up and get off before the doors close. Mr. Reginald's being funny. Acting like he doesn't know. That was so funny. She continued to just stand around laughing. She was going to get stuck on the train. Wait a second. Remember what happened earlier. I had come back from checking the timetables. Told Mia that my train would be arriving in 20 minutes. I instructed her to check hers. Shortly after, she came back to me and said it would be arriving in 18 minutes. Ah, I just got it. A pretty weak twist, if you ask me. Yeah. You take the same train as me, don't you? Yeah. I inhaled deeply, resisting the urge to shake her like a rag doll. Shake, shake, shake. And you couldn't just told me that earlier? Why would I? Why tell Reginald Jr. something he already knows? That's just silly. It wasn't silly. How the hell could I possibly known that? What was this girl basing her facts on? I was starting to get a headache. I sat down and tried to calm my nerves, which can be difficult when you just ingested a can of sugary soda, especially with caffeine in it. Mia sat beside me and gazed out the window. This girl. Why was it so difficult for her to give me a straight answer? First with a train and then with a soda. And she would constantly laugh at me like I was just pretending not to understand her. So I had no idea as to how she thought the two of us had met before. Maybe we got on at the same station or something? Despite moving to a new area and attending a new school, I still board the train at the same station as before. Perhaps Mia and I talked at some point while waiting for our trains to arrive? But I still think I would have remembered talking to someone as cute as her. Oh well, I guess it was just as well that she was taking the same train as me today. I was able to sneak the calculator back into her bag while she was looking out the window. At least that's one problem solved. But I had another. Explained to my mother why it took so long getting home. My ass was already aching in anticipation of the whooping I was due to receive. It's gonna be a long night. Bing, bing, bing. The next day at lunchtime, my new friends invited me to come sit with them again. Hey, Reginald Jr., come on over. Be right there. I was fishing through my bag looking for my lunch. Ah, there you are. Here I come, guys. As I was about to head over to their table, I spotted Mia sitting in the back of the classroom watching me. On the top of her desk was a small lunchbox, which according to the other students was a rarity in itself. I was told that she didn't tend to eat lunch during lunch breaks and would oftentimes just retreat to the library until class resumed. I wonder why Mia suddenly decided to break her usual routine. Maybe she simply just felt like bringing lunch for a change? It's not like it was a big mystery that needed to be solved or anything. I contemplated for a moment. Was she really alright for Mia just to sit there all by herself? At some point, this girl really needed to make some friends. Should I try to help her with that now? I contemplated for a moment. I think we should just shit with Mia, but I kind of want to... Well, if she was going to change her routine by bringing lunch, why should it stop there? Didn't seem right for her to just sit all by herself every day. I figured now was the perfect time to help Mia make some friends. Went over to the other kids and explained to them what I planned to do. Sounds to me you're getting your hopes up, Reginald Jr. If you hadn't already noticed, she's not exactly an outgoing person. Relax, guys. I spoke with her yesterday. I'm telling you, she's really not as antisocial as you think. She's just shy, is all. I'm thinking if we can get her to interact a bit more, we'll get her to come out of her shell. And hopefully she'll be able to make some friends. Hold up, you spoke to her? When the hell did that happen? Easy, bro. Please, you guys. Just give her a chance. Well, I'm okay with it, but I doubt it's gonna work. I say we give her a chance. You're just saying that 'cause you're looking to hook up with her. Shut up, like you're not. I never said that. My ass, you didn't. Down, boys. Guess it wouldn't hurt to give her a shot. As they say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I think you have everyone's approval, Reginald Jr. Awesome, thanks. I got up and walked over to Mia's desk. She had been watching me the entire time. It looked like she hadn't even started eating yet. Hey, Mia. What did you bring for lunch? Whatever it is, it smells tasty. Did you make it yourself? Oh, yes. Well, in that case, I bet it tastes great. Reginald Jr. I figured I'd try to butter her up first before I asked her to sit with us. Say, you're looking kind of lonely over here. Want some company? Obviously, she thought I was offering to sit with her. That was probably the only type of company she was willing to allow. Sorry, Mia, but that wasn't my intention. Please don't murder me. Because you see... I was thinking... that you come sit with us? Saw that coming. Mia had instantly reverted back to her vacant expression. I guess I didn't flatter her enough that she would let her guard down. Then again, I knew it wouldn't be that easy to win her over. Looked like I was just going to have to persuade her to come join us. You know, Mia, you developed quite the little reputation around here. The way you always keep to yourself like this, avoiding people and hiding in the library every day, it makes it difficult for other people to approach you. And it's giving them the impression that you're some kind of bad person. But we both know that's not true, right? Don't you want to show them that you're really not a bad person? Don't you want to be able to talk to the other kids? Hanging out, going shopping with them, that kind of stuff? Well, this is the perfect place to start. Come sit with me and the guys, and try to get to know them. Mia looked over at the other kids, and then back at me. Come on, Mia, please. For me. Those people are Reginald Jr.'s friends. That's right. We're all friends. I just met him yesterday, but we're all friends. And if you want, Mia, they can be your friends too. I promise you they're nice people. You just need to give them a chance. Reginald Jr.'s friends. Reginald Jr.'s friends. Okay. Huh? I'll come sit with Reginald Jr. and his friends. You mean it? Mia picked up her lunchbox and stood up from her desk. That's the way, Mia. Okay, let's go. Two of us walked over to the other kids. I couldn't help but feel that I accomplished something wonderful just now. I got the reclusive Mia to agree to come join my friends and me for lunch. This was great. If things went well, she'll be able to make friends with them and we could all start hanging out together. Who knows, maybe that one guy might get the chance to ask her out after all. But I was probably getting ahead of myself there. One step at a time, Reginald Jr. So, what did you end up bringing today? The usual. Last night's leftovers again? Yep. You say this like a bad thing. Your dad always makes the best meals. Yeah, but he's been making the same meals for a week now. I've grown so tired of them that I ended up not being able to finish eating. Ergo, more leftovers. That's right. Well, Princess, if you're not gonna eat them, then I'll be happy to. Give me your sandwich and it's a deal. You sure? It's tuna. So, I like tuna. Since when? Since forever. Besides, at this point, I'd eat just about anything else. It's a deal. Hey, share some of that with me, will ya? What's your problem? No lunch? More like, not enough. I was late getting up this morning. All I could do was grab a cup of instant ramen out of the cupboard before I left. Serves you right for staying up all night playing games. Come on, man, just give me some. Yeah. What are you having, Reginald Jr.? Nothing fancy, just rice and an omelet. Omelet. I never had omelet on rice before. I would like to try it, because I do like omelet. 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 Maybe you like some asparagus to go with it? Not a fan of asparagus. Not a fan of asparagus, huh? I can't stand it. My mom insists on putting it in my lunch every day. Well, who am I to turn down free food? Hey now, who said it was free? How about trading me some of that omelet? Help yourself. Thank you. Thanking you. Finishing portions of our meals. She's like, she's eating his food. She's eating his food. I turned to Mia, who was sitting next to me at the end of the table. Guess she didn't want anyone else sitting next to her. Understandable. It's gonna take some time before she warmed up to everybody. She hadn't said a word since we sat down. In fact, she hadn't even started eating her lunch yet. She'd just been watching me converse with the other kids. I could sense that they were also hesitant to try to talk with her. This wasn't getting us anywhere. I figured I'd prompt her to see what happened. What about you, Mia? What are you having for lunch today? It sure smells good. You sat line again. I wonder if she'll react to it a second time. At a word, Mia opened up her lunchbox. Well, that's a start, I suppose. At least she responded. I looked at the meal inside. It was a pasta dish consisting of white and green ravioli, topped off with a tomato paste, grated cheese, and various spices. That was unexpected. Never would have thought she was a pasta eater. It was a large helping, too. Probably enough to feed 3 people. Apparently this girl must have a big appetite. Or maybe it wasn't just for her. Definitely not what I was expecting, giving her small size. The others turned around at the meal. Assumed nobody would say anything about it. They'd probably turn to me to get the ball rolling again. Wow, that looks great, Mia. Maybe not. I haven't eaten ravioli in ages. I almost forgotten what it looked like. I never even had it before, and I'm drooling. You haven't? You've been missing out. That aroma's intoxicating. Did you make it yourself? Yes. My own recipe. I about nearly choked on my omelet. The reclusive Mia replied to another person's question all on her own. Yay, good job. I imagined that I would have to prompt her to do that. But she didn't even so much as look at me for help. Wait, you mean that you made that pasta entirely from scratch? Yeah. The green ones are filled with cheese, and the white ones are filled with veal. That was interesting. I had no idea Mia had such talent. What about the sauce? I bet you made that from scratch too, using tomatoes and some kind of fancy wine imported from Italy. Nope. Store-bought. Store-bought. We all laughed at that reply. Even Mia got in on it. This was going a lot smoother than I imagined it would. Well, even so, that's incredible. Do you think you could teach me how to make ravioli? And me? Yeah, me too. Since when do you cook? I took it up a few weeks ago. You know, they say ladies love a domesticated man. Who are you trying to fool? Hey, don't act like you know me. Would you like some? Huh? What? Would you like to have some of my ravioli? Ravioli, ravioli, yummy in my tummy. I couldn't believe my eyes. Evidently, neither could the others. Mia offered to share her lunch with everyone. Yes, I love to. May I have some too, Mia? Us too? Of course. Of course. Yay. Mr. Reginald, you can have some too. Well, thank you kindly. That settled it. This is going far better than I imagined. In a matter of minutes, Mia had gone from being a silent observer to a member of the gang. I couldn't help but feel proud of her. Maybe this was how a parent felt when their child accomplished something great. There I was, acting like a dad again. I really needed to stop doing that. Mia took my fork and scooped up some ravioli. Then she held up to my mouth. Here, Reginald Jr., say ah. Suddenly, I was being fed like a baby. It looked like the parent-child scenario had been reversed. Silly Reginald Jr. Y'all had a good laugh. No doubt the others were actually laughing at me for being treated like a baby, but I didn't care. I was having too much fun. That's good veal. I don't think I ever had veal before. Tastes like there's some kind of spices in it. Mia giggled as she took another bite of the cheese ravioli. And to think of it, I don't think she's even touched the veal ones. And they were going fast. Hey Mia, better hurry up and eat some of the veal ones. If you don't, everyone else is going to eat them. It's okay. The cheese ones are better for your health anyway. Oh, okay. Is it really veal? I guess she was more concerned about her diet than eating her fair share. Hers as well, because the others were really digging into the veal. Well, the boys still were anyway. The girls managed to show some restraint and went back to eating their own meals. Hey, take it easy! Remember, it's Mia's lunch. Don't just go eating it all for yourselves. My bad. It just tastes good. Yeah, sorry, Mia. Here, let me make it up to you. Have some of these leftovers I traded for earlier. They're really good. All I got is this instant ramen right now, but I'll bring something good to share with you tomorrow, okay? Boys tried desperately to stay on Mia's good side. Have as much as you like. There's plenty for everyone. But Mia didn't even appear to be upset in the first place. She just giggled and offered them more. Here, Reginald Jr. She took my fork and tried to feed me again. I don't know why Mia didn't just use her own fork. She was already sharing her food with everyone. I doubt she would do that if she was afraid of germs. Mia, it's great you're willing to share with us. But don't be afraid to speak up if we start taking more than our fair share. Keep in mind, it's your lunch. Don't worry, Reginald Jr. Just enjoy yourselves. Now open wide. I reluctantly took another bite. It tasted great. But I felt like I was depriving Mia of her own lunch. Here, Mia, have some of my lunch too. I'm no culinary expert, but I have the confidence in my ability to cook a decent omelet. I feel bad that you're sharing with us, but you're not letting us share with you. Please, have as much as you want. Push my lunch towards Mia. Here's another bite, Reginald Jr. She ignored my offer completely. Looked like she wouldn't let anyone return the favor. Oh well, no sense in fighting it. I should just be glad she's getting along with everyone. Reginald Jr. is funny. We continued like that until after class began. We continued like that up until and after class began. Our group was so unruly that the teacher got mad and held us back after school. When detention was finally over, I was invited to hang out with my new friends again. Well, not exactly invited. Okay, no excuses this time, Reginald Jr. You're coming with us to the arcade. I'm not taking no for an answer, but the whoop ass. Well, since you asked so nicely, how can I refuse? Hope you're good at street combatants, Reginald Jr. I've been playing it every day for the past 3 weeks, and I reckon nobody's a match for me now. Well, we'll just see about that. Although I should probably call my mom and tell her I'll be coming home late. Aw, what's wrong? Scared that mommy will get worried if a baby boy doesn't come home? More like I'm scared what she'll do to me if I don't let her know that I'm gonna be late. And if you don't believe me, I still got the bruises from last week to prove it. Oh, it's been a week. Yikes, that's one tough chick. The understatement of the century. Sorry you put up with this, Reginald Jr. Don't worry about it. They say that childhood trauma helps build character. That explains a lot about you. Bite your tongue. Hang on a minute. That's right, my mom isn't even... That's right, my mother isn't even home yet. I forgot she had that damn business meeting tonight. She told me this morning that she wouldn't be back until late. Guess that means I'm in the clear, unless she has like Life 360. Talk about a lucky break. Let's just hope I don't end up regretting it later. Oh, I promise you won't. I'll hold you to that. What about you, Mia? You up for some air hockey? Or maybe Prance Evolution? Yeah, come on, Mia. Come join us for some fun. I promise it'll be great. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Just a bit of a sore throat, I guess. There was something in the food. Are you sure? That sounded pretty bad. Don't worry about it, it's all good. Hope you're not coming down with something. I hate to miss my big bout with Reginald Jr. just because I caught your... Whoa, talk about karma. Wow, great, thanks a lot. Hey, don't look at me. I was fine up until a second ago, and then you started coughing on me. It's not my fault. I never coughed on you. I didn't even feel sick until just now. Calm down, you two. If you keep getting all worked up, you're just gonna make yourselves worse. Look, why don't we just get the arcade today and go home? That hurt my throat. Not you too. Nice work. Oh, shut up. Knock it off, you two. It's nobody's fault. There's probably just some kind of bug going around. I'm feeling dizzy. Whoa there, I got you. Thanks. Don't mention... Damn it. No good deed goes unpunished, I guess. I think you need to sit down. Cough, cough, cough. No fair. How come you two are okay? Must be my idiocy. How about you, Mia? You feeling okay? I'm just fine. Lucky bastards. Okay, that hurt like a bitch. Tell me about it. This is weird. Are you sure you weren't feeling ill earlier today? Positive. Ouch. Are you okay? I'm fine, just got dizzy is all. How's your vision? Blurry. Why do you ask? Just making sure it wasn't just me. What's wrong? You dizzy too? Yes. Yes, but that's not the problem. What is it? Okay, small question, guys. Am I the only one that tastes blood right now? Blood? Let me see your mouth. Oh, please tell me I just bit my lip or something. Don't get your hopes up like the... Don't get your hopes up on that. You too? Looks like it. I hate to sound like a copycat, but I'm tasting blood too. Shit, me too. Cough, 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 cough. Cough, cough. Their coughing became more violent. They all appeared to have trouble maintaining their balance. But somehow both Mia and I were still okay. Okay, you guys wait right here. I'm gonna see if the nurse is still on duty. Mia, stay with them. No, take her with you. She may be okay for now, but if she stays with us, it's possible that she may end up getting sick too. But what about you guys? Hurry up. And go. We'll be fine. Just go. Get help. Their faces were going pale, and they were continuing to cough up blood. This was no simple bug. It looked like some kind of virus. Screw the school nurse. Screw nurse. Screw the school nurse. I'm gonna call a hospital. Mia, why would you do that? But my friends were right. If Mia and I stayed here any longer, we could get sick too. We need to do it, but we need to leave them here. Don't worry, I'll call the hospital. We'll be right outside in the hall if you need us. Thank you, Reginald Jr. Now, hurry! Get out! Yeah. Come on, Mia. But with them coughing and stuff, It's not a bug or a virus because I think they have been poisoned, so you can't catch it. Imagine if it was a virus with them like coughing and stuff in it. It's like you probably gotten it already, maybe. When Mia and I left the classroom, I pulled out my phone to call the ambulance. You gotta be kidding me. Damn it! Of all the times for this to happen! I threw my phone to the floor in anger. What's the matter, Reginald Jr.? The batteries in my phone are dead. I should have checked before we came out. I need to go back in and borrow one from the others. I turned around to open the classroom door. No need to do that. I would just run to the nurse. If she's here, she would have a phone. Huh? Stay here. I'll be back shortly. Without waiting for me to reply, Mia dashed down the corridor. Mia? Thank you. By the time I said that, she was already out of sight. I leaned against the classroom door and tried to take a deep breath. How did something like this happen? And why did it happen to my friends but not me? I wasn't going to lie, I was scared. I couldn't help but imagine what would happen to my friends if help never came. They'd probably bleed out slowly and painfully from every orifice. Dang. Or maybe they would vomit up their entire intestinal tract. Don't think like that. Everything's going to be fine. Just have faith. Nobody's going to die. You hear me, Reginald Jr.? Nobody. I tilted my head up and called out to my friends. Okay, just hang tight, guys. Mia's going to call the hospital. The ambulance should be here shortly. Reginald Jr.? It was faint, but I heard one of my friends' voices coming from the other side of the door. Yeah, I'm here. Didn't quite catch what you said. I said that Mia went to call the hospital and help will be there soon, yeah. Just hang there a little bit longer, yeah. That's good. She sounds so weak. How's everyone holding up? We're all fine in here. Just pretend you didn't hear that. Ow. They all continued coughing behind the door. I couldn't bear to think what they were going through. And here I was on the other side, perfectly fine. I'd give anything to be able to walk in there and take their pain away. But all I could do was wait outside for the paramedics to arrive. Until then, I had to try and be strong, for their sakes. So, you're gonna come visit us in the hospital? Gee, I don't know. I have to check my schedule, but it's looking awfully full. Ugh, you suck. Oh, what the heck. I don't need to go to that silly meeting. I'll just move it to next week and come see you guys instead. In that case, you don't suck. Hope you guys don't have allergies. Because when I come to visit, I'll bring you all a big old bunch of flowers. What, no chocolates? Money's too tight for chocolates. But apparently not too tight for flowers. Oh no, you misunderstood. I was just going to pick some flowers out of my neighbor's garden. You cheapskate. Nope, just poor. In an attempt to keep everyone's spirits up, the two of us went back and forth telling jokes. After a while, the others joined in on the antics. It was all we could do to alleviate ourselves of the lingering fear we all shared. After a few minutes, Mia came back. So what's the word? People will come soon. That's good to hear. I heaved a sigh of relief and leaned up against the door. Not much longer now, guys. Hang tight. Will do. What about you, Mia? How are you feeling right now? Fine. That's good. In spite of what was happening, Mia seemed to be in unusually high spirits. Though it could be that she was just pretending to be cheerful as a way to mask her own fear. Everyone has their own kind of coping mechanisms. My method was normally to make a witty remark about the situation. That just happened. But then again, I only ever did that during far less severe situations, like forgetting to turn in my homework. It didn't seem very tasteful to joke about my friends coughing their guts up in the room behind me. What about you, Reginald Jr.? Are you okay right now? Yeah, I'm just fine. Mia walked over to the window and gazed outside. She was probably keeping watch for the ambulance. What a kind girl. I'd probably do likewise, but I figured it was better to sit by the door and keep others talking to boost their morale. Just you wait, Reginald Jr. When we get out of the hospital, the first thing we're gonna do is go to the arcade and play Street Combatants. I'm gonna kick your ass so hard, you'll be the one who ends up coughing up blood. Virtual blood, I hope. Personally, I felt some discomfort for joking about my friends about being sick. But I didn't want to spoil the fun, so I just kept it to myself. I guess I ended up having to rely on my sarcastic wit as a coping mechanism after all. Mia's still there, right? Yep, she's right here. Mia was standing over by the window, but I knew she could still hear everything that we were saying. She can hear you, go ahead. Hey, Mia. When we get out of the hospital, you have to teach us all how to make ravioli. Is that a deal? Sounds like a deal. Great. Are you okay? I'm fine. I'm okay. Just overexerted myself a little bit there. Bleg. Puke. What just happened? She just threw up a little. Don't worry about it. I'm okay, really. They were starting to get worse. Didn't know how much longer they were gonna last without medical attention. Mia, any sign of that ambulance yet? Mia, now's not the time to joke around. Can you see anybody coming? Mia didn't reply. I don't think she even heard me. She just stood there staring out the window and giggling incessantly. Mia, what's wrong with you? Nothing. She just kept right on giggling. Actually, it wasn't really giggling. It's more like laughter. It didn't make any sense. My friends were literally dying in the other room. And yet for some reason there was Mia standing by the window laughing wildly like a hyena. There was no way she was laughing at their expense, was she? No, that was just insane. There was no way she could be that cruel. And then it hit me. Could this be another symptom of the virus? No. And Mia contracted this disease while we were still in the classroom with the others? If that was the case, why did it take so long for her to start showing symptoms? Why were they different from the symptoms that everyone else was exhibiting? Also, why was it that I was still fine? Those questions would have to wait. As her laughter grew louder, Mia began swaying back and forth like a metronome. She was becoming delirious. I had to go retrieve her before she lost her balance and fell out the window. Mia, be careful. Stay right there. I'm coming to get... Reginald Jr., Reginald Jr. What happened? What was that noise just now? Reginald Jr. All I could hear was the sound of my friend calling out to me in the other room. Mia's insane laughter had stopped. All it took to silence her was one false move. Ah! She fell out the window. Mia! Mia! I didn't know why it took so long. All I knew is that it finally happened. When I got up to pull Mia away from the window, I was hit with a sudden dizzy spell and collapsed into the floor. Oh, whoop. As I tried to get up, I noticed that there was blood dripping from my mouth. I knew that I didn't hit anything when I fell over, so that could only mean one thing. The virus had finally got to me. Don't push yourself too hard. You might get hurt, Reginald Jr. After I had fallen over, Mia instantly stopped her laughing and swaying about. In a robotic motion, she turned around and gazed to me as I lay on the floor with blood running down my mouth. Something was wrong. All of her symptoms had completely vanished. She looked just as calm and collected as she did earlier. Mia? Are you alright? Of course. I'm just fine. But Reginald Jr. doesn't look too good. I wasn't sure what was going on. I didn't know why Mia seemed unwell one moment and healthy the next. All I knew was that I had the virus. And as long as I remained out in the hall, Mia was more susceptible to getting sick as well. Mia, I'm going into the classroom now. Please stay out here until help arrives. I clinged to the walls as I struggled to get to my feet. It was strange. Even though it took me longer to get sick than the others, I was hit with all these symptoms at once. Guys, room for one more? I'm coming in now. Guys. There was no answer. I struggled to grab a hold of the door and pull it open. But I was so dizzy I could barely stand. Guys, can you hear me in there? Can someone please open the door? Still no response. I couldn't even hear them coughing anymore. This was bad. They might be. Damn it, there was no other choice. I need to get in there and help them, but I was too dizzy to open the door. Mia, help me get this door open. Mia casually walked over from the window and opened the door. Since I was using the door as support, I collapsed back into the floor when Mia opened it. But I didn't care about that. I was too busy worrying about the condition of my friends. I frantically crawled into the classroom. I was hoping to find my friends sitting against the wall, alive and well. But no such luck. There were my friends. Lying on the floor in pools of their own blood. Ding. Dead. Damn. Gonna check their pulse or anything, bud? They're all dead. No. 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 Cough, 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 cough. Cough, cough, cough. As I howled in agony, I continued to cough up more and more blood. It wasn't long before I collapsed flat on the floor again from fatigue. It was strange. I've seen plenty of films where the main character finds out that their friends or family had been killed. And then they look up the sky and see things like no and why in English. I'd always thought those types of films were really hammy and that nobody would actually do that in real life. And yet, here I was. My friends were dead. I was doing the exact same thing. This was a life experience I could have never done without. Dude, this sucks ass. My friends are dead. Why did this happen? Why did my friends die? Why didn't the ambulance come and get them? Why did they get here? Why didn't they get here in time? Why didn't they come, Mia? I could hear Mia sobbing softly behind me. Oh, she ain't sobbing. No, I get it. Sobbing can, like, with someone, like, sometimes they cry, and I think they're laughing at first, and then it's like, oh yeah, and laugh with them until I realized they were crying, and I'm like, oh, oops. Ooh, you good? I could hear Mia sobbing softly behind me. Glanced over my shoulder at where she was standing. She was standing by the chalkboard by the front of the class. Her back was facing me and my vision was blurry. But I could still see that her shoulders were trembling. Mia, this was awful. Here we were. Two people who had lost their friends. And we couldn't even console each other. There stood Mia on the other side of the room, crying alone in the corner. And there was nothing I could do. I wanted to walk over to her. I wanted to hold her. I wanted to cry with her. But as long as I had this virus, I couldn't go near her or risk infection. Mia, I'm sorry. But you need to get out of the classroom. I don't want you getting infected too. Go outside and wait for the ambulance to get here. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Hurry, go now. Mia didn't respond. She just stood there and continued to sob. I understand your pain, Mia, but you have to get out of here. Don't let yourself get sick too. I don't want that. And neither would they. My entire body was beginning to convulse. My vision was going completely blurred. Is this how my friends must have suffered in the moments before their death? It's clear that the ambulance wouldn't make it in time to save me. I didn't have much time left. I didn't want Mia to watch me slowly dying. Her poor mind was already branded with the images of our dead friends. That was already more than anyone should ever have to see. I had to get her to leave the room. Mia! Mia! Blick. Damn it! I was coughing up more blood than before. My insides felt like they were on fire. So what kind of crazy virus was this? How did my friends and I contract it in the first place? No, that didn't matter no more. All that mattered now was getting Mia to leave before she got infected too. But she wouldn't leave. She just continued to face the wall and sob. There wasn't any time for that. Hurry, Mia! Get out of here. You have to go. Quickly, before you get sick. Run! Bitch ass. Run away! Get out of here, Mia! No matter how loud I screamed at Mia, she wouldn't budge. And with my health deteriorating rapidly, I just couldn't keep it any longer. I collapsed into the floor and struggled to breathe. There's nothing more I could do. Mia refused to leave, but I didn't have the strength to force her. At this rate, we're both gonna die. I was already going through the thick of it, but Mia had yet to suffer the horrific pain of coughing up her insides. Still, at that point, it didn't seem to matter anymore. Dying was a brief experience in contrast to what came afterwards. She would be liberated of the pain before too long. With that, I closed my eyes and waited for the end to come. Strange. In spite of my inevitable death, the intense pain in my body, and the bodies of my friends lying sprawled all around me, somehow I felt at peace. It was as if, at that point in time, the whole world had suddenly gone quiet, save for the lonely sound of Mia sobbing in front of me. Now that I could hear it more clearly, it's beginning to sound an awful lot like... Nah, it couldn't be. That was just wrong. There's no way she could be laughing. Opened my eyes and lifted my head up. I looked towards where Mia was standing this whole time. By this point, my vision was almost completely blurred. But by straining my eyes, I could just make out the shape of her body over by the chalkboard. Only now Mia was facing towards me. And she appeared to have moved in closer. That explained why the sobbing had gotten louder. Only now it really didn't sound like sobbing at all. I strained my eyes harder to get a better look at her. And then I saw it. Standing in front of me was Mia. And she was laughing. But it wasn't a same giggling type of laughter like from where we were all playing together at lunch. It's a completely different kind of laughter. Ha 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 ha. And as it grew louder, ha 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 ha, it began to sound more cold, more menacing. Ha 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 ha. More evil. Evil. Ha ha. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Here we were, in a room with 4 dead people and 1 dying person, and Mia was laughing it up like it was one great big joke. There's no way she could be this malicious. It had to be a symptom of the virus. Earlier on when Mia was giggling outside, I figured it was because she was exhibiting signs of infection. Before we went into the classroom, she had stopped giggling and reverted back to her normal self. Then after we entered the classroom and found the bodies, she started up again. But if that was the case, then why weren't these symptoms present in me and the others? Why did we all bleed out of our mouths while Mia only had a mental episode? Why was she still fine while the others were dead? It didn't make sense. Who are you trying to kid? You know damn well what's really going on. Answer's been staring at you in the face this entire time. You figured it out a long time ago. Just didn't want to believe it was true. Try to hide behind rose-tinted glasses and tell yourself that everything was okay. That this was all some kind of freak accident. Oh look, all my friends are sick. Oh look, so am I. Everyone's sick. Isn't that just the damnedest thing? Oh wait a minute, not everyone's sick. There's still one person still standing, healthy as a horse. How peculiar. Well, surely there's a reasonable explanation for all of this. It couldn't be something like that, could it? No, of course not. That can't be right. That's just insane. It's all just one big misunderstanding. It's really not as bad as it looks. It'll work out, you'll see. All you need to do is have faith and everything will be alright. Huh, some faith. Look where it's got you. Your friends are dead. And pretty soon you'll be dead too. Yep, looks like you were right. Just sit tight, because everything's gonna be alright. Shut up. Dead. No dead. I continued to condemn myself within my own mind. Evidently, my own subconsciousness was much more sarcastic than I was. Eventually, it reached to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore, and I screamed at myself to stop. The process I caused Mia to stop her insane laughing. Using that what little physical strength I had remaining, I craned my neck up to look at her. And in turn, she looked down at me where I laid on the floor. A short while passed before anyone said anything. Then Mia opened her mouth. How are you feeling, Reginald Jr.? Her voice lacked any ounce of sympathy. It was like we were two opposite people passing each other on the street and she was simply asking me for the time. If I had the strength, I'd probably scream at her. But instead, I answered in an equally vacant-sounding voice. My friends are dead. I'm knocking on death's door. And all the while, here you are laughing it up like it's all one big comedy skit. So to answer your question, Mia, I felt better. I see. That's good. Though, I guess it's not really. If Miss Reginald Jr. had gotten sick much earlier, he wouldn't be hurting anymore. Such a shame. She continued to gaze at me with hollow eyes. My vision was blurred, but I could at least determine that much. I wasn't sure how much longer I was going to last. But I couldn't die yet. There were still questions that had yet to be answered. And this girl had all the answers. I want you to tell me. Damn it. I want you to tell me what's going on here. Isn't it obvious? Reginald Jr. is dying. That's not what I meant, and you know it. What I want to know is, why am I dying? Why are the others dead? Why are you still okay? Why did all of this happen? That sure is a lot of questions. I wonder if I can answer them all before Reginald Jr. goes to sleep. Fine, if that's too much to handle, then just answer one question. If you can answer this one single question, then I can die without regret. Alright? Just ask me one single question and I'll answer it. Okay then. Mia, why did you lie? Lie? I lied? That's not right. I didn't lie. Tell me when I lied. Today. When you pretended to be their friends. Their friend, I mean. All throughout lunch, we were laughing and having fun. And you were right there laughing along with us. At least that's how it would have looked to anybody who was watching us. Hell, even we, the people in the group, were fooled by your act. You really thought you had chosen to become a part of the team. But you and I both know that really wasn't the case. You were only pretending to laugh. You were only pretending to have fun. You were only pretending to be their friend. And deep down you wanted nothing more than for them to die. That, Mia, is when you die. When you lied. I mean, you didn't die. You're making us die, which sucks. And what I want to know is why. Reginald Jr. is silly. He's gotten himself all mixed up. This wasn't right. I had just exposed Mia to all her lies. She should have just been sweating bullets and struggling to come up with an answer. But instead, she just giggled at me like I made some humiliating mistake. What's so funny? What did I miss? Like I said, I didn't lie. Reginald Jr. merely misinterpreted what was really going on. What do you mean? What's there to misunderstand? I remember it all perfectly. You went all your way to pretend to be their friend when I when really you hated them? When? Tell me when. When at any point did I say that I was their friend? When at any point did I say they were my friends? I only ever referred to them as Reginald Jr.'s friends, and that was before we even arrived at their table. I never considered them friends, nor did I ever say they were. You didn't have to. You implied it by pretending to laugh and play with them. Again, Reginald Jr. misinterprets what really happened. Every time I laughed, every time I looked like I was having fun, that was all genuine. There was never any pretending. So you're telling me that although you hated them, you enjoyed being with them? That doesn't even work. No, it doesn't. You just read too much into it. Then explain to me. Tell me what you really laughing and carry on about. What's so goddamn funny that it allowed you to laugh at the exact same time that a person next to you was laughing at the joke they just told? The fly in the ice cube. Huh? The fly in the ice cube. A classic practical joke. You stick a dead fly into an ice tray, fill it with water and freeze it. Then you stick the ice cube into a person's drink and watch them drink it, completely unaware that it's there. From the time that you stick it in to the time that they realize that it's there, it's really funny to watch. So you're telling me you're laughing and having fun because you secretly stuck a fly in their drinks? No, because you poisoned them. Nobody was drinking anything at lunch, remember? Besides, that was just an example. The point is, I never pretended to laugh along with them, and therefore I never lied about being their friend. Miss Reginald Jr. was reading too much into it. Any assumptions that you made from what you witnessed were more of your own doing, not mine. I'll say it again, I didn't lie. My head was starting to throb. Not just because I was hemorrhaging blood left and right and center. As one does. Mia had taken my argument and completely torn it to shreds. If she ever went to a trial for murders, her parents could have probably saved a lot of money by simply having her represent herself. In which case she'd probably win. Not exactly a comforting thought given the circumstances, but what's the deal with all this talk about flies and ice cubes? What did Mia think when she said that was what making her laugh? Yeah. She said herself, nobody had drinks at lunchtime. So what could she have been laughing at that was similar to a fly in an ice cube? Maybe poison in the ravioli. It didn't make any sense. Wait, yes it did. It made absolute perfect sense. But like I told myself earlier, I was just too naive to consider it. And it gave me perfect leverage to reinstate my claim. Mia did lie. And I could prove it. Objection! When the hell did I suddenly turn to Phoenix correct? Dude, you're dying. Screw it, I'm just gonna roll with it. Mia. You are a naughty little liar, girl. I was just pondering over what you just said, and also I'm still in the process of dying right now. About the flies and the ice cubes. It reminded me of something. It reminded me of just how tasty your ravioli was today. If I recall, you made two kinds. White ones filled with veal, and green ones filled with cheese. If memory serves, the veal ones were exceptionally popular. In fact, you might say that they were to die for. Originality, thy name is not Reginald Jr. I seem to recall that you never ate any of the veal ones yourself. And when I queried you about it, you said the cheese ones are better for your health. Which, given the circumstances, was true. If memory serves me, the only time you ever picked up a veal one was when you were feeding them to me. Even then, you'd only pick them up with my fork. Guess you really didn't want to take any chances with them, did you? I must admit, that was a pretty clever move. Color-coded food. Green was safe, and white was poison. You could eat your lunch in front of everyone without them being any the wiser. Then all you had to do was invite the rest of us to try some, knowing full well that we would mainly eat the poison veal ones. And if anybody saw you eating one variety and flavor of the other, they would assume that you were either being courteous to the rest of us or that you simply preferred one over the other. Meanwhile, you just had to sit back and watch everyone ingesting their theoretical flies and ice cubes. Very clever, Mia. But tell me, Was watching four human beings die slowly and painfully really so gosh darn funny? Well, you're being very indecisive right now. Reginald Jr. has still yet to tell me when it was that I lied. Remember? That's what you're trying to prove right now. That's the one single question that I agreed to answer. But you're getting sidetracked. All this talking about poison is irrelevant. You don't have time to waste asking me pointless questions that you already know the answer to anyway. Get to the part where you tell me that I lied. If you don't, then you'll die of regrets. See? She was right. I already knew the answer to that question. If Mia said was true, that she never lied during the course of the lunch break, then the answer was clear. Mia really did enjoy watching me and the others ingest the poisoned food and then succumb to its effects. After all, I was right there when she started cracking up after the others had taken a turn for the worst. In fact, if I recalled correctly, the exact moment she really cranked up the volume was when one girl asked her to teach her how to make ravioli after they got released from the hospital. That was actually kind of funny in a horrifically morbid kind of way. But now was not the time to start thinking about that. I don't know. I feel like how the humor and stuff feels very of the time. Or like someone younger made it, maybe. And I don't know. I just find that really charming. But oh no, the Yandere poisoned them with poison. I don't know. And the guy just being like very, no matter what happens, he's like, joking and stuff like that. I don't know. I really like it. It's kind of charming in its own weird way. Uh-oh. Looks like I'm in a sicky situation. I'm sorry. Dude, how long is it gonna take before you die? But now is not the time to start thinking like that. There wasn't enough time to question these minor details. Oop. I hated the thought of referring to my friends' deaths as minor details, but I was running on borrowed time for a while now. I'd make it up to them in heaven later. For now, I had to prove that Mia was guilty for lying. And unless my memory was failing me, I knew exactly where it happened. Alright, Mia. You want me to get back on track, then that's what I'll do. Stay tuned because I'm about to blow your deceptive veil clean off. Better hurry. After all, time is a factor, Reginald Jr. Hey, speak for yourself. Alright, mouth shut and ears open. It's time to finish this. Let us fast forward to a couple of hours, to the time when the others started displaying symptoms from the poison. You and I were at that point remained completely unaffected. Oh, it's when she said she was gonna get someone. Me, because for some reason the poison hadn't taken effect yet. And you, because you were never poisoned to begin with. Poison? Don't you mean virus? Shut up! It seemed like a virus at the time. Give me a break. Anyway, when things started getting worse for the others, you and I left the classroom to call for help. I tried to call an ambulance on my phone, but the battery had died. I was about to go back to the classroom and borrow a phone from the others. But as you no doubt recall, why am I yawning? I never did. And do you know why this is, Maya? Do you know? It's because right at that moment, when I was about to open the door, you stopped me. I turned to you and said that... I turned to you and you said that I didn't need to do anything. And then you ran down the hallway to get help. And then a few minutes later, you came back. And when I asked you if any help was coming, you said it was on the way. Only, it never came, did it, Maya? The help that you called for never showed up. Now, why do you suppose that was? Allow me to explain. Blech, dies. It's because you never went for help. You never called for an ambulance. You told me that help was coming when in reality it wasn't. Ergo, Mia, you use ergo. I think Edgeworth likes to use ergo. You lied. And I forgot his name. Mr. Von Francesca? Von Karma. You lied. Mia had gone completely silent. This was it. She was finished. Her veil of deception had been lifted, torn to pieces, and thrown into the wind. I had won. Now it was time to receive my prize before I crossed over to the other side. Okay, Mia. Ooh, a deal's a deal. It's time for answers. Start talking. Oh god. Okay. The room was suddenly filled with sounds of uproarious laughter. Mia had totally snapped. That is, more so than before, given the fact that she already was a homicidal maniac who murdered my friends. But still, it was kind of cool. Good on you. I feel like I was in one of those movies where the good guy effortlessly reveals the villain's evil plans. And then suddenly, the once composed villain completely loses his cool and goes on a tirade about how his plan was supposed to work. And judging by the way Mia was laughing, her calm demeanor had been completely obliterated. I knew it wouldn't be long before she broke down and told me everything I wanted to know. I just hoped that she was a fast talker. Because I'm still dying, by the way. I could feel my insides starting to boil up again. My time was almost up. But I refused to die until Mia came clean. Let's get on with this while I still have a pulse, Mia. Settle down and tell me why you lied. No. Huh? What do you mean, no? No means no. I'm not telling. What? We made a deal. If I expose your lies, you will answer my question. That's right. I know what I said. But it looks like Reginald Jr. still doesn't. Enough games, Mia. I won and you know it. You have to keep your promise. Don't tell me you lied about keeping your promise, did you? I didn't lie. Fine, then tell me what I want to know. I won't. Why does it matter? He's gonna die anyway. Why not? Because Reginald Jr. still hasn't told me when I lied. I am under no obligation to tell you anything yet. What are you talking about? Weren't you listening right now? Just now. You lied when you went to get help and when you told me that help was on the way. Cough. Blech. Come on, Mia. Enough stalling. Hurry up and tell me. Tell me what I deserve to know. It's so sad. Reginald Jr. doesn't realize what he's saying is wrong. He doesn't even remember what he wants me to confess about anymore. There's no point to any of this now. Unbelievable. I completely blown the lid on Mia's lies. And yet she just looked down at me like I'm some pitiful animal and told me it was all for nothing. Why? Why won't you tell me? Was I just naive? Blech. Ugh. Sorry, I don't know what that was. Was I just naive in thinking that you would keep your word? Was there really never any chance that you were going to confess if you lost? Reginald Jr. I said I would answer your question if you'd tell me when it was that I lied. I hadn't gone back on my word. If that's true, Mia, then why won't you answer my question? Because you haven't proven anything yet. All you managed to do was overanalyze the scenario and draw conclusions based on your own misinterpretations. It's ironic. I was trying to prove that I lied to you, ended up lying to yourself. That can't be. That's not true. I don't understand what you mean. Where? Where did I make a mistake? Where did I get it wrong? What did I misinterpret? Me. Huh? The one thing you completely misinterpreted was me. Let's reassess the scenario. When we left the classroom after your friends had gotten sick, you attempted to phone for help. But then you realized that the batteries in your phone had died. At which point, you attempted to return to the classroom and use one of your friend's phones. Right, which is when you stopped me and told me I didn't need to do anything. Then you ran for help. When you came back, I asked you if help was coming, and you said it was. You're doing it again, Reginald Jr. You're getting ahead of yourself. You need to go over the facts more thoroughly. Don't just jump to conclusions, or you'll just end up making more mistakes. Please be quiet and let me finish. This is just wrong. I was being criticized by my own killer. One minute she was laughing like a maniac. The next she's calm, collected, and lecturing me on the importance of analyzing the facts. Apparently Mia had the ability to lose and regain her composure at will. Was this really the same girl who just yesterday was falling to pieces over a scratch on my knee? It didn't seem that way anymore. As I was saying, when you attempted to return to the classroom, that was when I stopped you. At which point I said, and I quote, "No need to do that," followed by, "I'll be back shortly." Now you assume that both of these sentences were in relation to the same topic, which was calling for help. However, they weren't. What do you mean? As I've been saying from the start, you misinterpreted what I was saying or doing. When I stopped you from going inside, it wasn't because I intended to call for help myself. I knew that it would be too late before any help arrived. The poison would have already killed your friends. Though, not you, apparently. Still, there wouldn't have been anything the doctors could do to save you. Then let's face it, you wanted us to die. That's the real reason you stopped me. Right. And then you said that you will be back shortly and then took off, leaving me to believe that you were going to call for help. But in reality, you were simply trying to trick me into thinking that? I said those two sentences were unrelated, remember? Even so, you may have not said that you were going for help, but you still managed to mislead me. How you choose to interpret my actions was entirely your own fault. Well then, tell me, Mia. If you didn't simply run away to throw me off, then why did you run away for? Mia reached into her school bag and pulled out a pair of scissors. They were soaked with blood. I knew it couldn't have come from my friends because Mia had never gotten close to their bodies. That could mean one thing: in eliminating anyone who could have passed by and attempted to assist us. Correct. Mia placed the scissors back into her bag. So, how many people did you slaughter before you returned? Let's move on. She completely dismissed my question and returned to the case at hand. Not that I had any leeway to get sidetracked now anyway. I'm sorry, whoever it was that Mia killed. If you're in heaven, go see my friends. I'll meet up with you shortly and make it up to you then. Let's summarize. I told you not to go into the classroom because I wanted your friends to die. I told you I'd be back, and then I ran away in order to locate and kill any potential intruders. But at no point during or after that time frame did I say anything that would suggest I was doing something else. Nor did I ever try to manipulate you into thinking that I was doing anything other than what I was doing. Any assumptions you made were the result of the conclusions that you came on your own. I didn't lie. Oh, no? Are you absolutely sure about that, Mia? Absolutely, positively sure? Positively? let us not forget the last portion of that little scenario. The part where you returned and I asked you if you were able to get help. I haven't forgotten anything. But it's obvious that you have. Oh, have I now? Yes. Because if you hadn't forgotten, then the two of us would not be having this conversation right now. How do you figure? Think for a moment. Did things really play out the way you envisioned them? So why does any of this even matter? You should have not asked, like, why did you lie? You should have asked, like, why did you do this? Why? Did things really play out the way you envisioned them? Did I really say to you that help was on the way? Well, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure you did. You don't seem too sure of yourself, Reginald Jr. Wait a minute, is this gaslighting? You're trying to trick me now, aren't you? You've been feeding me all this crap about never trying to mislead me, and yet here you are trying to pull it off right now. That in itself qualifies as lying. It would, if I really was trying to trick you. But I'm not. I'm merely trying to get you to reassess the scenario more thoroughly. My ass! You're just trying to throw me off track again. I'm not. Nor have I ever. Never have I ever. You think I told you that help was on the way? But I didn't. I never even so much as mentioned the word help. Enough of the beating around the bush, Mia. If you're so sure I'm wrong, then let's help set the record straight. Yeah. What did you say to me when you returned to the classroom? When I came back, you asked me, what's the verdict? In relation to your presumption that I had called for help. And I replied, people will come soon. So I was right. I was right all along. You did lie. You said that people were coming, but they didn't. They never came. It wasn't true. That was a lie. You lied. And that means I win. I win, Mia. And that means you have to tell me what I want to know. Come on, out with it. Tell me. Mia. Everything. Tell me now. Cough, 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 cough. Cough, 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 cough. Cough, 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 cough. Oh my god, he fucking dead. When the night ends and a new day begins, this school will be full of students again. They will open the door to this room, and they will see you, Reginald Jr., and your friends lying on the floor, together, as all good friends do. In other words, people will come soon and find your corpses. Like I said, Reginald Jr., I didn't lie, but you were being manipulative. I didn't lie! Okay, that in. I'll be right back. It didn't feel right just to leave Mia all by her lonesome. I decided that today I was going to sit and have lunch with her. I went to the others and told them that I wouldn't be eating with them today. They were disappointed by the sudden change of plan. I apologized and promised that I'll sit with them tomorrow, if I'm alive. Then I went over to Mia's desk. Hey, is this seat taken? You look a little lonely over there. Over here. Over her. I figured you could use some company. That is, if it's okay with you. Mia looked away bashfully. She wasn't likely to admit it, but I could tell that she wanted me to sit with her. I took the initiative and pulled up a seat. So what's on the menu for today? I just couldn't help but notice that a big old lunchbox is in front of you. Whatever you got in there, it smells good. I hear you're not much on eating lunch most days. Is today a special occasion? Special occasion? Mia dwelled on that question for a moment. Yes, today is special. Oh? What's so special about today? It's special because today Reginald Jr. is eating lunch with me. Yay. Huh? Well, that was a pretty drastic turnaround. Mia had gone from timid to effervescent in no time flat. It was just like yesterday when I first met her. Apparently this girl was able to switch between happy and gloomy at the drop of a hat. Well, the important thing was that I managed to get her to come out of her shell. Now I just had to make sure that she stayed out of it. I never realized you thought so strongly of me. I always imagined that I was just another face in the crowd. Not at all. Having Reginald Jr. come eat lunch with me is like a dream come true for me. I knew you'd come to sit with me today, so I made a special lunch to commemorate that. Oh, please, all this fuss over little old me. I had to admit that it was kind of creepy. I mean, how just did Mia anticipate that I was going to sit with her today? And I still had no idea why she was so fond of me. We supposedly met because we boarded the same train. But just how much interaction did we have that would warrant this kind of behavior? Oh well. I suppose so long as it helped Mia become more sociable, it didn't really matter. There would be plenty of time to ask her about our past encounters later. But for the time being, I figured I'd just play along and see what would happen. Well, I don't know about you, Mia, but I'm starving. If it's alright with you, I'm gonna go ahead and dig in. I opened my lunchbox and started eating. When Mia got a glimpse of my food, her eyes went wide in surprise. Mr. Reginald's lunch looks good. I don't know why he started saying this. Reginald Jr.'s lunch looks so good. It looks really delicious. I wish my lunch was like that. I appreciate the compliment, but it really was nothing particularly awe-inspiring. It wasn't just being modest either. My lunch consisted of nothing more than an omelet with some rice on the side. Again, that sounds baller. I want an omelet. Can I have an omelet? Granted, I added some chilies into the omelet to give it a little extra flavor. But it was hardly worth being praised over. Come on, Mia. Show me what you brought for lunch. I'm sure it's a whole lot better than my simple little dish. For a moment, Mia was silent. At first, I thought she may have been embarrassed to show me her food. But then I noticed she was no longer blushing. Instead, it looked more like she was contemplating something. After a moment, Mia reached under her desk and pulled out a bowl. She seated the bowl in her lap and picked up her lunchbox. With the lunchbox tilted towards her, Mia opened the lid, grabbed a fork, and swiftly scooped whatever was inside into the bowl. Before I got the chance to see what was inside the lunchbox, Mia closed the lid and put it away. Then she took the bowl out of her lap and placed it on the desk. That seemed rather excessive, didn't it? Why didn't you just eat straight from the lunchbox? Just gonna have more dirty dishes now. Anyway, let's see what you got in there. Mia moved the bowl towards me. Oh, I was pretty surprised by what I saw. Yep. Inside the bowl was some green pasta ravioli, I believe, topped up with tomato paste and cheese. It's the safe ravioli! The safevioli. Even before I got a look at it, I was hit by the wonderful aroma of herbs and spices. And yet, somehow, Mia believed that my crappy, ordinary omelet was better than this. I looked back up at Mia, who was facing away in embarrassment. See? It's nowhere near as good as Reginald Jr.'s lunch. I can't tell if you really believe that or you're just mocking me. No, it's true. Well, if that's how you really feel, perhaps we should just trade lunches. You can have my fantastic omelet, and I'll just have to suffer through your terrible ravioli filled with... what is it filled with? Cheese. Cheese! But if I eat Reginald Jr.'s omelet, all the time and effort I put into it will be wasted on me. time and effort. I whipped this thing up in like 3 minutes. The rice was made in a rice cooker. Maybe so. But the point is that you made it. And you're saying that I could just walk on in here tomorrow with a butter sandwich and you'd react in exactly the same way as you are now simply because I was the one who made it? Of course. You're an odd one, Mia. Ugh. Look, let's just agree that each of us have good tasting lunches and leave it at that. Besides, didn't you say that you made this pasta because it was a special occasion? Right, because Reginald Jr. is sitting with me today. Well, it sure would be a shame to let it get cold because we're just sitting here arguing. If it's alright with you, may I try some? Mia took her fork and stuck it into the bowl. She sifted through the pasta for a few seconds without saying anything. It looked like she was searching for something in the bowl. But she was probably just stirring the sauce around to try and coat the pasta more evenly. When she was finished, she put the fork down and moved the bowl towards me. Thank you, ma'am. Mia changed her tune pretty fast. Now she seemed delighted that I wanted to try her pasta. Well, I wasn't about to disappoint her. I set my fork in the bowl and pulled out some pasta, making sure to get some sauce on it as well. Just as I was about to stick it in my mouth, I remembered my lunchbox sitting in front of me. It didn't seem right for Mia to be the only one sharing her food. Please, don't be shy and try some of the omelet. Just be careful, I added some chilies in it, so it'll be a little hot. Oh, thank you. Mia's eyes suddenly lit up. Clearly, she'd been waiting for me to offer her a sample. She hesitantly pulled my lunchbox over to her side. I waited until she had some omelet on her fork before I went ahead with eating my pasta. We ended up sampling each other's lunches at the same time. Oh. This is great. This is wonderful. And then we both ended up praising each other at the same time. We spent the rest of our lunch break sharing and complimenting on each other's lunches. We're having such a good time that we didn't even hear the afternoon bell ring. When school ended, I was invited by my friends to go with them to the arcade. But I figured since I had already made so much progress with Mia today, that I should just keep it up until the day was over. I didn't want her to revert back to her antisocial self just because I chose to spend the rest of the day with my friends instead of her. I apologized to my friends and walked over to Mia, who was waiting for me at the door. Ready to go, Mia? Yes. In much the same way as yesterday, Mia and I spent time drinking soda and chatting while we waited for our train to arrive. It was nice to see her in such high spirits. But I couldn't help but wonder how to make her behave the same way when interacting with other people. Then again, I wasn't sure how to make her interact with other people, period. I guess it was just going to take some time. Until then, I'll just have to act as Mia's social sparring partner. An odd choice of words, but it still summed up what I needed to do. Ah, here we go. After a while, our train came rolling into the station. We stood up, threw away our empty cans, and climbed aboard. After we boarded the train, Mia went completely silent. We didn't speak to each other for the entire train ride. Just sat there together, watching the passengers come and go as we moved from one station to the next. It wasn't until we finally arrived at our stop that Mia finally spoke. Reginald Jr.? I turned to face her. What's up? I was wondering, It looked like Mia was struggling to find the right words to use. She had her head down and was blushing pretty heavily. I waited patiently for her to say what she wanted to say. Finally, she spoke up. Oh my god, that is bold. Would you like to come over to my place tonight? I just thought it'd be nice for Reginald Jr. to come and stay. Would you like to? That was unexpected. I don't think I've ever been asked over to a girl's house before. Much less a girl I've only just met. I wasn't sure how to respond. Though Mia could probably tell from looking at my face I was having trouble coming up with an answer. You can't? That's not it. I appreciate the invite, but it was just so sudden. I mean, what would your parents think if you suddenly brought a boy home? Oh, that's not a problem at all. That's not a problem at all. I live by myself. Huh? Really? Uh-huh. Did you kill your parents? Well, that would solve one problem, I guess. But what about your minor can of whoop ass? I wouldn't have to endure the awkwardness of listening to Mia try to explain to her parents why she brought a boy home with her. But I couldn't help but think it would also create other problems. Primarily, the punishment I'd likely receive from my mother if I came home too late. I can't call her because the batteries in my phone are dead. And if I called them using Mia's phone or a public one, she'd suspect that something was amiss, and I'd most likely receive a greater punishment. She hurts me because she loves me. Whatever helps you sleep at night, lady. Little wonder I haven't developed into some kind of sociopath. Hold on a sec. At that point, I suddenly remembered my mom was attending a business meeting tonight. I remember her telling me this morning that she wouldn't be home until really late, which means I could go over to Mia's place for a little while and be back before she even got home. Boy, talk about convenient. It was like the gods of fortune were finally going to cut me some slack. You know what, Mia? I'd love to come over to your place. Really? Sure. My mom's not due back home for a while, so I figure I got plenty of time to kill. Why not spend it with you? You really mean it? You're not joking, right, Reginald Jr.? This isn't a trick? You really want to come over? As of right now, I am in your care. I thank you for welcoming me into your humble abode. Bow. Reginald Jr. Welcome. Please enjoy your stay. I never heard... What? I never seen or heard from again. I never seen or heard from again after that day. Bad end. Oops. More blood, more blood, more blood. There's something I want to talk to you about. Huh? Who was I kidding? I didn't want to cause this girl any more grief. It was time to be a man and come clean. I sat back down on the bench. Mia placed her bag at her feet and sat beside me. Then I reached into my pocket and pulled out the calculator. Why do you? It fell out of your bag while you were over at the timetables. I meant to put it back, but when you came back, I got nervous and stuffed it into my pocket. I'm sorry, Mia. I had no idea this calculator was so important to you. I should have asked you before I went and threw it away. Mia took the calculator from my hand. Wait, Mia, it's covered in... I'm sorry, too. Huh? I said I'm sorry, too. I lied to Reginald Jr. I said that I needed to go back to the toilet when I really just wanted to get the calculator back. I'm sorry. Do you forgive me? Do you, Reginald Jr.? Please forgive me. Don't hate me, Reginald Jr. This girl. Dummy. Why wouldn't I forgive you? I gently rubbed Mia's head. Reginald Jr. She blushed and lightly nuzzled my hand. She really was pretty cute. I guess we were both just a couple of liars. And it looked like we were both worried for nothing. We both apologized and forgave one another. And everything was right once more. So we sat there together on the bench, waiting for our trains to arrive. After about 10 minutes, I started to get thirsty. Oh yeah, the drink. My mom was pretty anal about me having anything sweet at this time of day, especially since it was getting pretty close to dinner time. So I decided I would fetch myself a soda and quickly drink it before my train arrived. Turned to ask Mia if she wanted something to drink as well. That's when I finally noticed it. Mia still had the calculator out. But that wasn't what caught my attention. At that point, the last puzzle piece suddenly fell into place. The staring, the reason for lying, the personality shift, the saliva on the calculator. All of my questions were answered with a single glance to my left. There was Mia. The fucking saliva trail. At least it doesn't look like a TI-80 whatever. There was Mia with a calculator in hand. And she was licking it. Right in the broken frame where I cut my leg. Her tongue was ravishing the inside like it was another person's mouth. Specifically the areas where my blood was seeped into. Then I looked down her face. What the ecstasy? What the hell? That was the only way to describe it. As if lapping up my blood was her single greatest pleasure in life. If I had to guess, with the amount of force she was using, the blood would have to be all gone by now. Slurpy, slurpy. But she wasn't stopping. In fact, she was increasing her pace. If possible, she could have kept on licking until every trace of me was gone off that calculator. This was absolute madness. Mia had rummaged through the garbage purely for the sake of obtaining a calculator that contained traces of my blood in it so that she could lap it all up like a kitten drinking milk. At that point, I started thinking back on what I said to myself earlier. The other kids told me she was weird. Yes, she's pretty weird. After talking to her for a while, I concluded that was not the case. She was just a bit of a daydreamer. But it turned out we were all wrong. Mia wasn't weird. She wasn't spacey. She was insane. Completely and utterly insane. And for whatever reason, all of her insanity was all directed at me! Ah! With a wild roar, I grabbed the calculator from Mia's hands to smash it into the concrete. For a moment, she remained seated, staring at her empty hands. Then she slowly stood up and just stared silently at the broken calculator on the ground. Then she turned to look at me. Someone's gonna get murdered. Someone's gonna get murdered. Oh, wait. Does this mean I can lick Reginald Jr.'s knee now? Just as a thought. It wasn't about the calculator. It was never about the calculator. It's all about licking my blood. I refused to let her disinfect my knee. So instead, she went for the next best thing. I didn't know the specifics, but it was clear that this kid needed help. Badly. I grabbed Mia's shoulders and held her in place. She looked down at my knee and slowly looked up at my face. This was scary. I was staring directly into her eyes. All I could see was emptiness, like looking into the eyes of a doll. What the hell was happening to this girl? What made her become so crazy? Mia stared back down at my knee. Reginald Jr. never put a band-aid on it. You said you were going to put a band-aid on it, but you didn't. And now Reginald Jr. will get sick. Unless you let me disinfect it. You don't want to get sick, do you, Reginald Jr.? Let me disinfect it so you don't get sick. I tightened the grip on her shoulders. Mia, the only sick person here is you. Just because you've been ingesting blood and God knows what else from that dirty calculator, you're not thinking straight. We need to get you to a hospital. Reginald Jr., you're hurting me. I could feel her struggling to get away, but I wasn't about to let that happen. She needed a doctor. She needed mental help. I know I only just met her that day, but I felt like it was up to me to make sure that Mia didn't run off and hurt herself. More like hurt you. Call it chivalry, call it stupidity, call it whatever the hell you want. But I was gonna do all that I could to help her. It hurts, Reginald Jr., it hurts. Why is Reginald Jr. hurting me? Why are you doing such a thing, Reginald Jr.? Sorry, Mia. You need to bear with it, cause I'm not letting you go. I scanned the station, looking for someone to call out to. I figured if I could get somebody to call an ambulance, I could keep Mia subdued until they arrive. Then the paramedic could inject her with some kind of sedative that they could help her, and they could take her to the hospital. Get me. Hello? Somebody! We need an ambulance over here! But damn my luck, the place was deserted. Not even a lousy security guard. What, did they all clock off at the exact same time? This damn economy! It's making lives harder, people's lives harder in so many ways. If it weren't for the current situation, I would have probably laughed at that remark. It hurts, Reginald Jr., it hurts. Why are you hurting me, Reginald Jr.? Why? Reginald Jr. wouldn't do such a thing. Reginald Jr. would never hurt me. That means you're not Reginald Jr. Who are you? Where's Reginald Jr.? What have you done with Reginald Jr.? Give Reginald Jr. back to me! As Mia rambling became more and more erratic, she began to struggle more violently. Ow. Ugh. Hey, no hitting below the belt! Let go, let go, let go! You're not Reginald Jr. Reginald Jr. wouldn't do such a thing. Give him back! Give my Reginald Jr. back! Give Reginald Jr. back to me! Mia was fighting with all her might to break free. I was beginning to lose my grip on her. In more ways than one. Help! Anybody! Somebody call an ambulance! Or the police or something. As I struggled to keep her subdued, I called out into the empty station. Naturally, there was no response. Ugh! Mia struck me with a well-precision kick to the shin and managed to break away from my grasp. As I gripped my leg in pain, she gripped her school bag and started hitting me over the head with it. Mia, get a hold of yourself! Give him back! Give Reginald Jr. back to me! Give him back and then go die! Die, you Reginald Jr. imposter! Die! Die, die, die! Mia, please stop. Die, 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 die! It's me! It's Reginald Jr. I am Reginald Jr. Please recognize my voice. That voice? Reginald Jr. Reginald Jr., is that you? The frenzied attack stopped when Mia stared at me with wide eyes. That's right, Mia. It's me, Reginald Jr. I'm right here. Reginald Jr. Mia dropped to her knees and crawled over to me. Reginald Jr., Reginald Jr., Reginald Jr., Reginald Jr., Reginald Jr. It's you. You're here. I can hear you. What happened? Where did you go? It doesn't matter. What's important is that you're okay. When was I not okay? Forget it. It seemed that Mia had instantly forgotten the entire ordeal. But I was okay with that. She had calmed down and nobody was hurt. Well, not severely, anyways. My head and shin were throbbing something fierce. But nothing a painkiller wouldn't fix. Painkillers. With that thought in mind, I figured it was a good time to call for an ambulance and have them pick up Mia. I reached up into my pocket and pulled out my phone. I turned it on and began to punch in the numbers. Don't worry, Mia. Everything's gonna be alright. I know. Huh? Suddenly, I hear the sound of metal scraping against metal. I look up at Mia. At some point while I was looking at my phone, she had reached into her school bag, pulling out a pair of scissors, and was moving slowly towards me. Hey, Mia, be careful with those. You don't want to go and cut yourself, do you? Don't worry, Reginald Jr. It's going to be all right. Just leave everything to me. I'll have you out of here in no time. Out of there? Out of where? What do you mean? What are you going to try and do? Silly Reginald Jr. Acting like he doesn't know. She giggled in a playful tone, like it was all one big joke. Whatever is the case, it looked like I was right back where I started. Mia took another step forward, brandishing the scissors in front of her. I leapt to my feet and moved back. Why are you running? Why are you running? Hold still so I can help you. Let me help you, Reginald Jr. Mia, just put the scissors down. Please, whatever it is you're doing, just stop. That's strange. Could it be that Reginald Jr. doesn't want my help? Why wouldn't Reginald Jr. want me to help him? How odd. How very, very odd. What help? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're saying. Although given the circumstances, how could I? Still, I found myself trying to make sense of her words. Plop. I sank to my knees in disarray. I guess Reginald Jr. never even realized it himself. What haven't I realized? Suddenly, I felt like I too was going insane. Does exposure to madness create more madness? Guess it does. Reginald Jr., you're trapped. Huh? You're trapped inside the body of this creature who was trying to hurt me. At first, I thought that maybe Reginald Jr. had been replaced by a violent imposter who only wanted to make me suffer. But then I heard Reginald Jr.'s voice calling out to me. His kind, gentle voice telling me it was all okay. And then that's when I finally understood. Reginald Jr. was trapped. Trapped inside this creature in front of me. And that's when I knew that it was up to me to save you. You think I'm trapped inside a body that looks like me? Because I tried to help? Don't worry. I know it wasn't you yourself who was hurting me. It was all this imposter's doing. And Reginald Jr. is just trapped inside its body. But it's all right now. Just hold still. Because I'm gonna set you free. By cutting open his stomach and pulling you out! Okay. Sweep. Swish. Whoosh. Whoa. I nearly avoided getting stabbed by the scissors. Mia had struck the concrete with the scissors and was shaking off the recoil. Decided to use the opportunity to make a run for it. Run, Reginald Jr., run! I hurried to my feet and headed for the exit. But Mia had recovered and didn't take long to catch up with me. Amidst all the chaos, I couldn't help but be amazed by her resilience. She was surprisingly fast for such a meek-looking person. Not the time, not the time, not the time! I snapped out of it just as Mia was about to strike me from behind. I veered to the right, and she ended up running right past me. But as she went by, her scissors managed to scratch me along the waist. I was bleeding. It was nothing major, but it still stung a bit. But that was nothing compared to what she might have done if I didn't move in time. Mia screeched to a halt right in front of the turnstiles. Panting lightly, she slowly turned around and stared at me. My blood was trickling down the tip of my scissors. Mia held the blade up to her mouth and licked it clean. It's still your blood. Huh? Her voice was so soft I couldn't hear what she said. Reginald Jr. It's still your blood! Why is your blood in that creature's body? I have to get it out! It has to come out! Get it out! Mia howled maniacally and charged towards me again. I frantically turned back and ran the other way. But since she was already close by, she caught me up in no time at all. Swish! Whoosh! And her attacks became more frenzied than before. It became harder and harder to avoid her. I had to keep looking out over my shoulder to avoid her attacks. But I also had to keep a lookout in front of me to avoid tripping or running into something. Mia was fast, but due to her short stature, her reach wasn't very good. Although from time to time, her scissors would make contact with my lower midsection. It was just like earlier when she was trying to read the timetables, but she had to stand on her toes because they were too high up for her to see. Reginald Jr., you can stop running now. I promise it'll be over soon. Mia called out to me from behind in a playful tone. But as I turned back to look at her, her expression was anything but playful. Her face appeared to be stuck in that deranged smile. It was absolutely terrifying. I shuddered to think just how much more deranged that smile would become if she ever caught me. Careful, Reginald Jr. Better watch out. Don't fall. She continued to taunt me childishly. Or so I thought. I had been paying so much attention to Mia that I'd forgotten to watch where I was going. And suddenly... Whoa. Before I had a chance to react, I had run right off the edge of the platform and landed face first into the train tracks below. Ah, damn it! My whole body was aching. Both from the exhaustion from running for my life and falling into the hard, rocky tracks. But in spite of all that, I somehow managed to get back up to my feet. Yay. My legs were trembling, but not from fatigue. Are you alright, Reginald Jr.? That deviously playful voice, lacking any ounce of compassion. I looked back up at the edge of the platform, seeing Mia gazing down at me with scissors in hand and a very sadistic smile on her face. Now's not the time to be playing with rocks, Reginald Jr. We need to hurry up and get you out of that creature's body before the train. Oh, look. It's already here. I sharply turned my head to the right, to the spot where the train was heading straight towards me. Yay. It was still a bit ways off. But if I didn't get off the tracks quick, I was going to get ran over. For a moment, I just stood there, frozen in terror. I was so scared I wasn't able to think clearly. The train was coming closer. Now was not the time to lose focus. I shook my head violently to snap myself out of it. Okay, Reginald Jr., quickly. Which way should I go? Oh. Oi. Ah, yeah, oh. I couldn't go back the way I came. Not with Mia standing there waiting for me. No doubt she just started attacking me again if I climbed back over there. I headed for the opposite platform. My body was tired from the chase, but somehow I still managed to pull myself back up. I staggered to my feet and looked back towards the tracks. I expected to see Mia standing on the other side. But of course, that was just wishful thinking. Reginald Jr. You gotta be kidding me! It must have happened as soon as I pulled myself up to safety. Mia leapt down from the tracks and was leisurely making her way to the other side. All the while, the train was getting closer. Reginald Jr., don't run away. Let me help you. Come on, Reginald Jr. You idiot! You're gonna get yourself killed. Go back! Go back! I screamed at Mia to climb back onto the other platform. But she just kept on coming. This was bad. Even if she made it up to the other side, there was no way she'd be able to pull herself up in time. She was gonna get hit. Damn it. And what could possibly be considered the most ironic thing ever done, I jumped back into the path of the deadly oncoming train in order to rescue the psychotic girl who was trying to kill me. All I could say was thank God for flight or fight responses. Because at that point, my adrenaline kicked into overdrive and I was able to grab Mia, throwing her onto the platform and hoist myself back up before the train came roaring in. But once that was done, the adrenaline wore off and I collapsed to the ground completely exhausted. And unfortunately for me, Mia was still just as active and crazy as ever. Oh good, you finally stopped running, Reginald Jr. I can finally cut you out of that creature's body. Hold still now. Mia held out her scissors and walked towards me. How the hell did she not drop those from the tracks when I grabbed her? Damn it, Reginald Jr., now's not the time for such trivial thoughts. I struggled to get back up, but my body was so tired and heavy I could barely move. All I could do was lie there helplessly as Mia drew closer. She walked over and sat on top of me. I stared into the abyss of her blank eyes. They stared back. Don't worry, Reginald Jr. I'll have you out of that body real soon. Oh, I was gonna leave my body alright. Just not in the pseudo-glamorous way she's envisioning. With a twisted grin on her face, Mia pressed the tip of the blade into my chest. At that point, the exhaustion had begun to take its toll. I was drifting out of consciousness. It was probably for the best. I knew that in a few moments, I wouldn't be opening them again. I closed my eyes and drifted into what would soon be eternal sleep. Was it done? Was I dead? Was I in heaven? Or that other place? I was too afraid to open my eyes to find out. Oh yeah, because of the people there. Hey kid, you okay? Is he breathing? Yeah, but he looks pretty shaken up. Poor boy. I hear a pair of unfamiliar voices. I felt someone slapping my face. Come on, kid, pull it together. Careful, dear. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. He's coming around. That's the way, kid. It's okay, guys. He's good now. Dink. Opened my eyes and found myself on the floor of the station, surrounded by people. A man and a woman were kneeling next to me. All right, people, stand back. Give the boys some breathing room. Right back now. Oh, look at you, being all bossy. Hey, come on now, sweetie. I'm having a moment here. Don't spoil it. The woman giggled at the man, I'm guessing is her husband, cleared it. The woman giggled as the man, which I'm guessing is her husband, cleared the area around us. Ugh. I tried to sit up, but my sides were aching badly. Hold still, child. Let me have a look. The woman lifted up my shirt and examined my injuries. That looks quite severe. Hold on a moment. I got some disinfectant in my bag. Don't worry about that, honey. Someone already called the hospital. The ambulance will be here any minute. Let the pros treat his injuries. Even so, it will be good to clean the wound. Ambulance. Injuries. Took me a moment, but I finally remembered what had happened. Mia was about to slice me open. She had gotten into a state of delirium and thought I was trapped in the body of an imposter or something. She chased me onto the train tracks. We were both nearly killed by an oncoming train. During the course of an adrenaline rush, I managed to save us both. I collapsed into the platform. Then Mia tried to finish the job. That's all I remembered before I blacked out. Just sit tight, kid. Help's on the way. The girl. Huh? What's that, dear? What about the girl? The girl? Where is she? What happened to her? Is she okay? Are you talking about the girl who was attacking you? Yes. Don't worry, dear. She can't hurt you anymore. She's been held at the security office until the police arrive. Police? When we got off the train, there she was, sitting on top of you with those scissors in her hand. And then one guy ran in and pulled her off of you. Then me and him grabbed her and took her to the security office. She's small, but she was one hell of a fighter, boy, I tell you. Nearly got away from us at one point. Just as well we took the scissors off of her, though, or it could have gotten real nasty. She kept screaming, I have to cut it out of him, or something like the whole time, too. You got any idea what that's about, kid? That's enough, dear. The poor boy's been through enough already. Go and get him a cold drink, please. You got it, honey. What will it be, kiddo? Dear? What's gonna happen to her? Pardon? The girl. Will she be treated too? Well, I imagine so. But I don't understand why you're so concerned about someone who just tried to kill you. Yeah, you got prioritized better, kid. That crazy chick isn't worth losing any sleep over. Unless she's like your girlfriend. Because if it's like that, then, man, you got an interesting taste in women, but you got an interesting taste in women, buddy. Dear, sorry. You got it all wrong. It is my fault that this whole thing happened. Don't blame yourself, Reginald Jr. Huh? How was it your fault? It's difficult to explain. I don't know how exactly it got started. All I know that it's my fault she escalated this far. Before we met, she was just your average girl. Actually, she was a reclusive loner with the personality of a rock, but I didn't want to split hairs. Sure, I got a few physical injuries. I only hope I didn't pass out from the severe pain in my stomach before I finished pleading my case. But that girl is mentally ill. She needs medical attention more than I do. She doesn't need to be arrested. She needs treatment. Well, yeah, they might have to arrest her to get her the treatment. And up until this whole mess started, I was trying to help her get it. Help her to get it. The nice couple listened quietly, and I continued to defend Mia's actions. I knew that there was nothing that they could do for her. But they were kind enough to listen to what I had to say without trying to cut me off. I really appreciate that. I knew how it must have sounded. Here I was, desperately trying to defend the person who tried to kill me. Wouldn't have blamed them if they thought I was crazy too. Or just a victim. That was just the kind of person I was. Even after everything Mia had put me through, I was willing to forgive her and continue trying to get her the help she so desperately needed. After a while, the paramedics and the police arrived at the station. Mia was examined for her injuries and then taken into custody, much to my dismay. I was taken to the hospital and received stitches for the gash in my stomach and the apparent damage I sustained to my head. I didn't even remember getting hit that hard. The couple from the station came to visit at one point. The woman baked me some cookies and her husband brought me a soda from the vending machine in the lobby. They were really nice people. And if it weren't for them and the man who pulled Mia off of me, I wouldn't have made it. I swore to myself that I'd repay them all someday. I remained in the hospital for a week until the doctors decided I was fit enough to leave. A few days later, the police stopped by and asked if I wanted to press charges against Mia. I had originally intended to say no. But since I was still a minor in the eyes of the law, my mom ended up calling the shots and the case ended up going to trial. Mia's lawyer had filed for a not guilty plea by reason of insanity. If found innocent, she would go free, which is good in a way. But she would end up not receiving any medical treatment and probably try to kill me again. Fortunately, before that could happen, my lawyer managed to strike a deal with me for Mia's. Well, if it's for a reason of insanity, you'd have to take her to mental care, right? In exchange for a guilty plea, she would be sent to a psychiatric facility to undergo the medical treatment she so desperately needed. Throughout the course of the trial, the police tried to track down Mia's family, but nobody was ever found. 1 month later. Man, I love these half days. Come on, if we leave now, we'll make it in time to catch our movie. You got the tickets? Ordered them online this morning. Sweet, let's go. Not so fast, boys. What now? Can't this wait? We're in a bit of a hurry. Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you two have assignments to finish? We'll do them later. Now is the time for having fun. Yeah, like he said. Really? Because last I heard you were two failing pretty far behind in your studies. You two were failing pretty hard behind in your studies. Is that right? My sources also informed me that if you two failed to submit your reports this week, that you would both get held back. Well, your sources are mistaken. I'll have you know that all of my assignments were up to scratch. No way, since when? Ow, my foot! Is that a fact? Yes, it is. Or they will be. With some outside help. Outside help, huh? Indeed. By which you mean asking me very nicely to let you copy my report and then make small changes to make sure it looks more authentic? That's the idea. What do you say? What is in it? What's in it for me? Name your price. What? These tickets would do nicely. But... No, you can't do that. The way I see it, you have two choices. Relinquish the tickets, copy my work, pass the course, or don't. Your choice. Deal. Wise decision. Here's my notes. Help yourself. I'm off to catch a movie. Bye-bye, boys. These notes better be worth it. The scary thing is, they are. Off to the movies? Yep, courtesy of two generous gentlemen. I got an extra ticket. Want to come with me? No thanks, I already seen. Oh, is she gonna take Reginald Jr.? I mean, female student. I know her name. Female student 1, Reginald. During the scene, like they were like kind of dying. They kind of like their banter was cute. Are they gonna go on a date? Are they gonna go on a date? Really? That's too bad. I wonder who I should take. Oh, how about Reginald Jr.? He left as soon as the bell rang. He did? What for? I'm not sure, but it's been like that every half day. Once the bell rings, he's out the door. Oh, he's probably checking on Mia. And he rarely wants to hang out on weekends anymore either. I wonder where he goes. Who knows? I guess one of these days we'll have to tail him and find out for ourselves. Spying on your friend? What an underhanded thing to do! I like it. I knew you would. The two girls giggled as they walked down the hall. Here so soon? Visiting hours have only just started. That's me, Mr. Punctual. Some call it a blessing, others call it a curse. You didn't need to rush all the way over here, you know. You could have at least had something to eat before you came. Well, I missed a chance to sample some of your tasty hospital cuisine. Don't be ridiculous. I hope you're referring to the cafeteria food. I don't want to see you stealing food from the patients. I wouldn't dream of it. Although the cafeteria's jelly isn't quite as good as the ones you give to the... Oh, but just listen to me rambling on. If I didn't know any better, I said you enjoy coming here. Why, it's practically like a second home to me now. And some days it's even more peaceful here than it is in my own house. Especially now that my mom's got into her spring cleaning mode. Should I be concerned that you're able to find solace in a psychiatric facility? Come spend a week with my family, then you'll have your answer. Well, if that's the case, we could always set you up with accommodations here in our fine establishment. Food and housing, courtesy of the state. Of course, we need a signed document from your mother and your physician. And we need you to be clinically insane. Well, with the final exams coming up, I might just end up taking you up on that offer. The doctor and I continued to joke as we made our way down the long corridor of the institution. So, what's Mia's condition like? Considerably better than last week. Managed to get her to come out of her shell a little bit more since your last visit. The other day, a nurse managed to hold a conversation with her for a full 5 minutes before she started to withdraw again. Care to guess what the topic of discussion was? Social economics? Almost. Me? You get a gold star. Wait until I tell Mommy. Although regardless of how much we try to interact with Mia, the truth of the matter is what she really hangs out for are your visits. It's not easy being popular. Are you still keeping her away from sharp objects? Let's just say she became very accustomed to eating soft foods. And still no word from her family, I'm guessing. Police managed to track down her birth records. Well, apparently her parents have been deceased for a few years now. What about grandparents or aunts or uncles? Police search, and there are no other living relatives listed anywhere. How was she able to pay rent or buy food? How has she survived all this time? Her parents took out a life insurance policy shortly after she was born. At the time of their death, it accumulated to a considerable amount. More than enough to survive on, especially given that she only spent the money on essentials. Does a label maker count as an essential? She rented an apartment and been living there by herself ever since. And she still attended school? That's sensible. For me, I'll probably just drop out of school and piss away the inheritance on a get-rich-quick scheme or something. You gotta admire her resolve, that's for sure. I'll say. My daughter could learn a thing or two from her. The other day, she spent all of her savings on a new phone, even though she already had a perfectly good phone that I bought her not 1 month earlier. What can I say? We live in a materialistic world. Material girl. Some kids today just don't know how good they have it. Why, I've half a mind to bring her down here and have a chat with Mia. Maybe she can talk some sense into my daughter, because I sure can. Yes, Doc, let the borderline homicidal mental patient talk some sense into your daughter. This will solve everything. For his daughter's sake, I hope this place doesn't have a bring your kid to work day. If I may ask, how did her parents die? They were flying to Hong Kong for a business seminar where their plane was hit by a turbulence and crashed into a mountain. I see, so she didn't murder them. I breathed a short sigh of relief, making sure the doctor didn't hear me. You were worried that she might have had something to do with their deaths, weren't you? Who, me? Nah. Clearly I need to work on my poker face. The doctor chuckled softly. I wondered, could their deaths have been the reason that Mia became how she was? Or could it be that she already liked that before their deaths? Was it my interaction with her that triggered her psychotic break? And exactly when and where did Mia and I allegedly first meet? I had so many questions. With Mia being the way she was, I was pretty sure that they would never get answered. We finally arrived at her room. Mia, I have a visitor. Without waiting for a reply, the doctor pulled out a key and unlocked the door. Here's a hospital gown.
But she looks kind of cute. And, I mean, it's not like shaped like a hospital gown, you know? It actually has some form to it. There was Mia standing by the window staring out at the trees. She made no effort to acknowledge that someone had entered the room. What, no greeting? That's not very nice, Mia. When Mia heard my voice, she immediately spun around to face us.
It's Reginald Jr. Reginald Jr. came to visit.
She ran over and embraced me, burying her head into my chest.
I got scared for a minute there. I thought it might have been someone else. But I'm glad it's you. I was worried you wouldn't come.
Hey, now, have I ever let you down before? I chuckled and stroked Mia's head, and she glanced at the doctor with her usual vacant face. This, of course, was nothing new to him. Alright, I can see you want me to leave. I'll be heading back to my office now. I'll come get you when visiting hours are up, Reginald Jr. Thanks, Doc. The doctor smiled one last time and left the room, closing the door behind him. We remained standing in the same spot for a while. We stared out at the trees while I patiently waited for Mia to finish embracing me, which was a normal scenario whenever I came to visit her. Oftentimes she wouldn't break away from me for a full 20 minutes or so. I guess me not being with her all the time had caused Mia to become deprived of much needed affection that she felt she couldn't get from anybody else. That was just my guess. But I'm no physician. I decided that I'd query the doctor about it later. Clearly, your time here has made you a far more sociable person, Mia. You know, it used to be that you wouldn't so much as look at the doctor when he was talking to you. I don't know what they're feeding you in here, but it looks like it made you a much friendlier person.
Reginald Jr.'s teasing me.
Not at all. Well, not entirely anyway. That was a compliment. Acknowledging other people and interacting with them. The doctor told me about your little chat with one of the nurses. That was very good. Shows that you're getting better. And I'm proud of you, Mia.
Reginald Jr. is proud of me?
That's right. You're doing good. I stroked Mia's head again. She let off a soft moan and continued to nuzzle my chest. Although she seemed to be improving, I knew it would be a long time before Mia was deemed well enough to leave this place. There was also the possibility that she would never fully recover and remain here for the rest of her life. It was a sad thought, but it was still far better than letting her go and risking another violent attack. I couldn't bear the thought of Mia being convicted of murder and getting thrown into jail. Or worse, she tries to flee police pursuit and ends up getting shot. Okay, enough of that kind of thought, Reginald Jr. With the way things were, it was clear that she was going to be here for a long time anyway. Put those nasty thoughts out of my head and tried to enjoy my time with her.
Will Reginald Jr. still come to visit?
Huh?
If I don't ever go home? And stay here forever? Will Reginald Jr. still come and visit me? Will you?
Did Mia just read my mind? How did she know what I was thinking about? Maybe because she was embracing me so tightly she was able to detect changes in my heart rate or something, like a lie detector? Given the way things had already played out, I wouldn't have been so surprised. Would have been too surprised if she could do that. Dummy. What a stupid question. Of course I will.
Reginald Jr.
Glomp. Mia leapt into my arms and sent me flying off my feet. How nostalgic. It was just like the day I first met her. Only this time I was standing in front of her bed, so it was a soft fall.
You mean it? Do you really mean it? If I stay here forever, will you come and visit me? Forever and ever? Amen?
If I stop coming, you'd be lonely, right?
Yes. I'll be so lonely without Reginald Jr. When Reginald Jr. is here, I don't feel alone anymore. So please, keep coming to visit me. Please, Reginald Jr. Don't let me be lonely. Promise?
Yeah, promise. We lay together on the bed and talked until visiting hours were up. In the end, Mia was sad to see me go, but I assured her that I'd be back again next time. Hopefully that made the wait a little more bearable for her. As time passed, it became abundantly clear to the doctors that Mia's condition would not improve anywhere past its current point. And with that, she became a permanent resident of the institution. But I remained true to my word and continued to visit her every chance that I got. I even managed to help Mia open up a little bit more to the doctors and staff. Any conversations that she had with other people would still end up being centered around me. It got to the point where I became the famous amongst the orderly as the Mia Whisperer. Like I said, it's not easy being popular. After I graduated from school, I moved into an apartment close to the institution. I got a job as a convenience store clerk in town and would continue to visit Mia on my days off. As a result, the two of us grew closer together. I never did manage to get an answer to my question as where the two of us apparently first met. But with the amount of time that the two of us spent together, it hardly seemed to matter anymore. And in time, I forgot all about it. All I remembered was that on that first day of attending my new school, I met a strange girl who tried to kill me. But then she got help and we became a couple. I guess that man who saved my life was right. I really did have a strange taste in women. I was in love with a Yandere. My little Yandere-chan. Mia.
Reginald Jr., I love you.
Happy end! Yay! We got the happy ending. Oh! Writing, programming Mia's food, but I didn't get to read all of it. Oh well. At least it's been recorded. That little doodle was cute. Okay, let's get the others. Damn it, no time. Run back to the other point. Up to the edge and begin to pull myself back up. Ordinarily, it would have been easy to get back up there, but my body was so exhausted from running around that it was proving to be difficult. Ugh, come on! Forced my weary body to pull itself up. I was almost there when... Shing. There was Mia, crouched down in front of me at the edge of the platform, hovering her scissors directly above my fingers. Mia, please! Help me up, brother!
Don't worry, Reginald Jr. Long live the king. This will surely free you from that creature's body. Stab! Ah!
I landed back on the tracks, just in time for my train to arrive. Yippee! That in. We got ran over. Okay. So, no, don't overwrite save. Okay. Mimi. Judging by the awkward silence, it was clear I had gotten it wrong. I suddenly felt like a real jerk for getting her hopes up. She seemed like such a nice girl, too. Better hurry up and apologize to her. I hate to ruin the chance for us to become friends by getting off on the wrong foot. Gurk. Crash. What the? For any what happened, I was lying on the floor in a pool of my own blood. I tried to move, but I was completely immobilized. Partially due to my immense pain in my chest. And partially due to the weight of the assailant sitting on top of me.
You're horrible, Reginald Jr.
This soft-spoken girl who looked like she wouldn't harm a fly was suddenly sitting on top of me with a pair of blood-soaked scissors grasped firmly in her hands. With my consciousness fading, it took me a moment to fully comprehend what had happened. Apparently, she had reached into her school bag and pulled up a pair of scissors and stabbed me once in the chest. And then I collapsed onto the floor. She climbed on top of me and continued to assault. But why? It didn't make any sense. One moment I was trying to remember her name. The next moment You gotta be kidding.
How could you forget? How could you? It's too cruel. Reginald Jr. Cruel. Cruel. Cruel.
Okay. After it seemed like an eternity, the girl finally stopped in her assault. Panting heavily, she continued to stare at me with doll-like eyes.
Too bad. And I was looking forward to walking home with you, Reginald Jr.
Speaking in a vacant tone, she slowly rose to her feet and dropped the bloody scissors by my side.
And will we get the same thing if we choose the other one?
Then she turned around and walked away. I was laughing. Not because I was going mad in my final moments. Because in the end, I managed to learn her name. Ugh, my vision was fading. But because it was right beside me, I could just narrowly make it out. Attached to the handle of the scissors was a label. It read, "Property of me." Ah, that in. Oi. That choice, and I'm pretty sure Hatsune Miku.
Seika.
Yep.
You're horrible, Reginald. I'm not Hatsune Miku.
Is it bad being Hatsune Miku though?
Stop. Okay. Stretchy. I finished it.
I'm pretty sure.
But I'd say that was a cute little visual novel. I mean, cute might not be the right word for it. I just mean it's charming. It feels like a relic of his time, or something that like in middle school that I would have like greatly enjoyed, or something like that for sure. But yeah, for that, it kind of, I guess in the same way that Liar Liar kind of made me feel nostalgic, this game made me feel the same way, but a little bit different, I guess. But yeah, there's like a part where I'm like, okay, why are we still why are we still talking here? You're supposed to be dead. Okay, stop yapping. Let's get this over with. But other than that, I find it very charming for sure. I'm probably gonna draw the thumbnail. It's drawing like him. I don't know. He's fun to draw. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Bye.